Welcome to 7-Sided Carpathian adventure. Travel back 700 years to the early 1300s. Castles like this dot the countryside. The Hungarian Empire, or Carpathian Empire, is at its zenith. The nascent Ottomans are on the rise, but neither Holy nor Roman nor an empire, Holy Roman Empire, battles within. England and France fight one another. As the Templars recede into history, the Teutons are on the rise. Welcome to the Carpathian adventure. This was a great hall. There would have been a roaring fire. It would have been adorned with Gothic windows. This might be where our adventuring party might gather. Let's meet them.
From the kingdom of Aragon, I am Zyman Val. I've ventured forth with few possessions and little coin, save an ancient tomb I searched to decipher. But I've struggled to find clues, and at times, food. While freezing in the Alps, fate crossed my path with a shining knight and the champions of the sun. Having aided me in a desperate time, they have earned my service and my friendship. Now, using my wizardry, I fight by their side.
I am Balder, a Norseman, a soldier, and an eldritch knight. I left my home to leave politics behind, only to be dogged by it across Europe. I first met the Champions of the Sun outside a small town in Hungary. Together, we battled Ottoman raiders and vampires. The Champions gave me purpose again, and where it takes me, I know not, but I know I want to be a part of it.
I'm Aldrich, and while I grew up an urchin in the narrow confines of Venice, I never seemed to fit in there. Except for this music box, my past is hidden to me. Now north of the Alps, I feel I'm closer to home, wherever that might be. Near the Untersberg mountain, I discovered these intrepid adventurers. Though they're blazing a dangerous path, perhaps they might help me discover who I really am.
I am Borinth, the cave bear. I come from a tribe of barbarians that once lived in the mountains of the Badenweiler. While on my sacred spirit quest, my tribe and family were attacked with none left alive. I now seek the power to avenge my people. With my rage, I grow stronger. And with the Champions of the Sun, I seek a path to restore and preserve my people's culture and rid this world of any evil that stands in my way.
I am Matthias, of the House of Bathory, Knight Baron of Carpathia. With my traveling companion, Ambria, I was dragged into a whirlwind path by a rogue monk. But those I have met since then have earned my respect, and, more importantly, my trust.
Welcome to the Carpathian adventure.
Okay, welcome. I'm Tom. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of gamers. Hey, I always got to I'm sorry about this, guys. I apologize. Reiner, could you please mute your microphone while you're cruising the internet or whatever you're doing over there? We're a group of gamers who get together in real life to play Dungeons and Dragons. Some of us are military, others are in construction, still others retail managers, a few are in IT. We're parents, students, etc. So we do this strictly for fun. We hope you enjoy it nonetheless. There were quite a few thank yous in our open, except one. I normally hear something from the peanut gallery, not today. You. There we go. Thank you. We would like to thank you, our Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter followers, as well as our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for joining us. If you have not already, please follow on Twitch, please like on YouTube and Facebook, and please, of course, subscribe on YouTube. We're up to, I checked it the other day, it dropped to 297, then came back up to 298. So we're
holding.
At least we're not going backwards, folks. We appreciate every one of you. It took us only 5 years to get 298 subscribers. So, if during the stream you follow or donate on Twitch, I don't even know why I asked that part anymore, or if you subscribe on YouTube, your username will pop up on the screen. I know I have seen it happen. During the stream, some of us are watching. I have Twitch up when my phone, when I do play with it here for a moment. That didn't sound right, but when I get it going here, please feel free to comment or ask questions while live. We will endeavor to interact if the opportunity presents itself. So to all of you, all of our subscribers, thank you for what's going on in the campaign to defeat the powerful vampire Bayou Osman Ghazi. The party is building strength and collecting resources. They are in Schloss Kyburg in the Swiss canton of Suisse. Though part of the Holy Roman Empire, the Swiss cantons are fighting their overlord to obtain greater autonomy and lower taxes. Swearing to help to defend the people of Mortgarten and Schloss Kyburg, Baldur and Matthias recently acquired an item needed to make a powerful weapon that should help them kill the vampire Ghazi, the Heilige Lanze, or the Lancehead from the Spear of Destiny. As part of their agreement to defend the people of Suisse, the party fought a series of defensive battles in a defile south of Mortgarten and north of Kyburg. After 4 waves and battle-weary, Borinth convinced the party to retreat to the safety of the castle. Inside, Simon, look at this noise from the peanut gallery. I knew I was going to get something, a rise out of somebody when I said some of these things, but you never know what. Inside, Simon again met with Benzo D'Alessandro, counsel to the Lord of Schloss Kyburg, Werner Stoffacher. They discussed Simon's book and Benzo's role. While Simon made some discoveries, he may have been left with more questions than answers. Before the enemy surrounded the Schloss, Baldur convinced a few stalwart individuals to take his wagon and the party's supplies to Benelux, France. It seems as though they got out just in time. Trying to rest, the castle they are in is now under siege. An army of Frederick the Fair, commanded by Duke Leopold of Austria and Styria, is besieging the castle and pummeling it with catapult projectiles. I finally have sound effects for that too. Very cool. I just got... I'm sure the party's thrilled. Despite the cacophony of... It's going to be really annoying listening to all night long. Despite the cacophony of noise, or maybe it won't go that long. The sound of death is very quiet, by the way. Despite the cacophony of noise, Kartra and Borinth had an in-depth conversation regarding their shared god, Odin. And though he is a paladin, Borinth seemed to be questioning his faith. It's early morning. Some of the party have completed a short rest. The remainder started a gritty realism long rest and are about 16 hours or so into it. Like drums hearkening warriors to battle, the steady beat of catapult stones slamming into the Schloss continues to reverberate throughout the castle. Welcome back, guys. It is Thursday. Huzzah! It is early morning on... Well, that's a little too loud. You don't hear the screaming from far away. It is a little bit too loud. From off in the distance, you see catapults heaving. Actually, no, you don't just yet. I just threw them out there because we're done with that. Okay, where are we here, Tom? Yeah, we may not get to that. Okay. The steady beat of catapult stones continues to pound away at the castle. It's early morning. What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Nothing. I know that Borinth is resting.
Yeah, I am resting. I don't know who's there with me.
I'm there, but I'm in prayer.
Oh, early morning, yeah. I wanted to go down to the jails and visit Sir Nicholas the prisoner.
Okay. You're you're guided down. You go outside into the main courtyard, and they guide you down into the basement itself, and you can eventually find your way down there. He's in one of the cells.
I'll say good morning to him in German.
Guten Morgen. Good to see you. How are you?
I trust they are treating you well.
Under the circumstances, as well as can be expected, yeah.
We find ourselves besieged, finally.
Yeah. Well, what happened when you captured me? I was at the pass, a little ways north of here.
It was decided to forsake our position on the cliff to retreat back to the gates. There was much death.
I'm sure you would not have made such a decision hastily. You fought well in the past.
Something that you said has been weighing on me. And you were not the first person to mention it to me, but you mentioned the name William, and it strikes me as curious why some people are saying this about me.
He pauses. He's sitting on a bunk. He stands up and walks toward the bars. He looks askance at you. I am not sure why you would. What type of deception are you trying to pull? I am not understanding. Ik verstehe Sie nicht. I don't understand you.
You mentioned Henry, the Duke of Brunswick, in Lund.
Yeah?
How do you know this person?
I know him from having been to Thuringia. I mean, I don't know of him well. He's not your brother? I have pledged on my honor as part of my acceptance of parole that I will not raise my sword at this time. So I do not know what you are. If you are trying to convince me to say something to preserve your life should this castle fall, I am not sure where you are going with this. I'm not. Who is your father pledged to? Has he pledged to Frederick, or has he pledged to Ludwig, or neither? And who have you pledged to?
Aldrich is going to look really confused at him for a moment. What have you heard of my father?
I don't know of anything. I am questioning this line of this discussion. It is, it breaks my boredom, shall we say? So I welcome it, but this is very curious. I'm not sure where you're going. It almost sounds like you're hoping that I can negotiate something on your behalf, William.
Could you?
Actions speak louder than words. I mean, you and your compatriots have been fighting Leopold, who's in the service of Frederick. I mean, you have treated me well, as you should. but I don't know what it is you're hoping for.
I will return, but I trust that you will not mention any of this to anyone.
Mention any of what?
Of this
Dear sir, that you came here?
William business.
What? Are you going by some other name with your compatriots? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Ah. Well, I am not party to your deception, and I mean, what your business is not my own, so you don't want your family involved in what your dealings are here?
You could say that, yes.
Very well. I mean,
For the moment, it is suffice to say that you believe me to be a relation of Henry, correct?
is there a reason I should not?
I just want to know where your loyalties lie.
Well, my loyalties. My dear sir, my sword has been pledged to Leopold and to Frederick the Fair.
Yes, just ask
If you don't want me to say your name, if it spares my life, then I will not say your name. I have not seen you here. Whatever name you decide to go by, I have not seen you here. But I cannot say that the others have not seen you here. I mean, I don't. You were seen in the past, I believe. I don't know anything more than that.
This is all very confusing to me. I don't understand.
I'm sorry. Since I'm not going to speak of this, William, what name do you wish me to call you?
I am Alderic.
Very well. Alderic, I'm still Nicholas Bachman, Trebuchet. Alderic, not William. Let it be said, let it be known.
I do not know this William that you speak of.
You are not William.
Why do you think me William?
You said you do not. Are you, soft in the head?
That may be the case, but
how can you say I do not? It would be like myself saying I do not know of Nicholas Bachman. I mean, there are bars between us, so I will behave. But I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me. You've not heard of your own name.
My name is my own, but I don't know what game you're trying to play with me, but it will not work.
Very well. Alderic, I am. Das ist sehr gut. Ja. Wie geht es Ihnen, Alderic? Alderic, Schloss Kalberg. Ja.
What do you know of Baron Unterhalter?
Well, he's the Lord Baron von Unterhalter is the chief of staff to Leopold.
He also referred to me as William.
Okay. You just told me not to say that name. So, I am
You have me at a slight disadvantage. How do you want me to respond to that? Do you want me to tell him not to call you William either? Will that make things better for you?
I don't think that you will have the opportunity to speak to him before the siege is through.
And why? Well, I mean, hopefully your party will honor the parley and the parole, and perhaps I will be ransomed.
I would
My
assume,
family
but
will pay handsomely.
the knight is a little thick-headed, so I don't know if you'll be able to get through to him about that.
Which knight do you speak of?
The Carpathian knight.
He's not amenable to Matthias of Bathory. I've heard of his name and of his family. It's an honorable name.
Little stubborn.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, thus is my lot in life. I have fought honorably. I will die honorably if need be.
So,
And I will not refer to you as William. I mean, by that name again.
the brother of Henry, correct?
If you say so, yes.
Do you say so?
I will not refer to you by that name again.
Is that who William is, the brother of Henry?
That is my understanding, yeah. But if it is not you, it is not you.
This has been productive.
It has?
Yes, absolutely.
That's true, yes.
I want to spend the next few minutes just chatting with Nicholas and learning about him and his background and stuff. But we don't have to go through all of that at this point. We can get to other stuff.
Das ist ja gut. Okay.
I'm going to pull up a stool and discuss Nicholas and his.
Okay, you
history.
pull up a stool. What are the rest of you doing?
I'll be up on the wall where I currently am with Benzo, and I presume that's Werner. Is that Werner next to him in the
Yeah, Werner wearing the blue cloak.
blue? Yeah. Well,
I had a different figure, but it wasn't painted, so.
I will take out my spyglass and hand it to Werner so that he can survey the field.
He takes it and he points it off toward the distance, looking at what's going on, and he can see off in the distance the enemy siege line, if you will. There's a couple of catapults heaving a combination of stones and bales of large material at the fortress itself, and they are just exploding. Some of them are slamming into walls. They seem to be concentrating their fire on the building behind you and the building beyond as well.
Like where everybody's staying down in the bottom.
Yep, the bottom, but they're down in the bottom level. So it's, you know, that this building is probably 3 stories high. That one's 2 stories high back there. Okay. So 3 stories above ground, then there's a basement. You're aware of that. You guys are staying on the first. You met with them on the 2nd level, and you suspected there was a 3rd level that you hadn't been to.
That we presume to be his quarters. Or
They're ducking down every now and then as they see stuff. He's got it wedged down in between the crenellations, and he's looking. How did you get this? This is very impressive. It makes things so close. Sometimes not in a good way.
I found it in pieces in a forsaken church, and was able to have it repaired in what was that town? I don't know, but the woman that repaired it had marvelous skill and was able to enchant it to be able to see even further than normal. It is quite marvelous. It was actually, the repair was quite cheap for what she did too. You are free to keep that for a while if it helps with the surveying of the grounds.
Is it fragile?
It does have glass lenses. It should be taken care of.
I can see well enough. You keep it.
Okay.
I mean, if it lends something to me, I You're not going to be far. I mean,
I plan on staying here, as you are.
very well. Benzo seems to be ducking down behind. It's just this constant barrage of catapults. Every 15, 20 seconds, another catapult bowl just comes flying overhead.
We'll kind of turn to Benzo. I know this may not be the most opportune of times, but I think we may be here for at least a few days before the walls come down.
I hope they hold longer than that.
You seem to be very talented in your wizardry ways. Is there anything you could teach me that might be able to benefit us in the coming days, or even perhaps further down the line in my quest against Ghazi?
Well, I know nothing of this, Ghazi. I mean, I've heard the stories that you have told me, but and are you talking in terms of spells? He seems to duck down as a ball goes hurtling overhead.
Yes, I am. I'm reluctant to bring it up, but I know it's very personal what you keep in your spellbook. I am very personal about what is in mine, but...
I am assuming, he ducks down as he hears the catapult blast from overhead. I'm assuming you know Fireball, correct? Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I think most of the corpses on the file would be able to answer that question.
Yeah. The corpses on the what?
On the defile.
I wasn't there. I'm sorry.
You could not see the flames from here?
It's
it was smoky, at least.
Probably.
At least it was smoky.
Weak.
It's pretty far between out of character. It's down a hill, winding path, 20 minutes away without dragging.
I'm still depressed that it wasn't seen.
No, I didn't see it. I'm sorry to say. Do you know how to cast a plague of insects?
No.
Yeah, perhaps I could teach you that. I mean,
that could come in helpful, surely. I do have one other question while we are up here.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Some of my compatriots had this carpet that they've been carrying around for quite some time. They say it allows a man to fly.
Well, it's quite impressive indeed.
Well, the unfortunate thing is they say it needs to be soaked in the blood of innocence to work. I have not seen it work myself, nor do I desire to test its merits.
His jaw drops when he said, that sounds quite nasty.
Yes. Do you think there is a way to rid it of the curse?
If there is, it's not at the moment.
Really ties the room together.
It does.
Are you up there with him?
No, I'm just joking.
Are you trying to decorate with it?
No, but it may come in handy at some point.
I'm quite sure that a flying carpet would come in very handy at some point. Yes, indeed. Under the right circumstances.
Well, maybe we can talk more about it at dinner.
Yes, and he ducks out of the way and so forth. As you do. Anything else you're doing?
No, that's it.
Okay. At some point, he'll try and teach you, if you can learn it. I don't know if you can. He'll try and teach.
Even testing the walls, you two. This is just an opening salvo to test our willingness to stand up against it.
Yeah,
These stones are too small.
Should we go out in front of the castle to show them our true resolve, Matthias?
Are you dull?
I think you know the answer to that.
Yes, I do, and I would hope that you know the answer as well.
So we're going out. From the
Whoever said that is getting flogged.
Matthias is up on the wall, I'm assuming?
Yeah, he was
Yes.
up on the. He was
Oh,
up
he
on
was?
the wall
I'm
last
sorry.
time, Yeah.
Okay. I just threw out, I didn't move some stuff around if it wasn't. The rest of you are down inside on the first floor room. What are the rest of you doing? Kartra?
Hey, Kartra.
Borth, I know you're resting.
Hey, Carter.
Aye.
I was just thinking about something.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, this is good. Trust me. No, I was just thinking about this situation in this castle, right? If I was, and keep this between the two of us, right? I can trust you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was to, what's the guy's name that's the lord of this castle?
Werner.
Right? If I was to kill him, right? Would that make me the Burger King?
I guess.
Right?
The Burger King,
Do I get
the
a crown?
Burgermeister.
Do I get a crown?
He doesn't have a
Burger
crown.
King? No?
So I don't know. I don't know what you humans wear.
The Meisterburger?
No, the Burger King. I would
Burger
want to
King.
be called the Burger King.
The King of Burger.
I would be the Kai Burger King.
For however long it's going to last.
No, I'm just trying to occupy my mind here.
You've gone down a darker road than I normally think you go down.
I like the side of you.
I expected that from the from the Loki
No,
walker there.
no, I don't know what to, I don't know. I feel like I maybe have disappointed the group, but I don't think everybody got to see what the situation was up on top of that hill.
Well,
We were getting hit from all different angles, and the enemy was just, they were moving much faster than we were able to. I mean, we were getting surrounded quickly, and I know maybe everybody possibly blames me for this hasty retreat. It sounds that way from the way that everyone speaks, but, you know, they weren't up there on the front line, and they didn't see how quickly we were overcome. I mean, I've fought many battles before, and, you know, you have to know.
we weren't going to last
When?
too much long out there.
We weren't.
We might have held maybe another half a day. But
And
if he
listen-
would have thrown his full forces, we would have been routed.
5 of us may have lasted, 6 of us may have lasted, but all the other men that we had with us would definitely not have lasted.
Yeah. Sooner or later, this was going to happen. We just made it a little sooner.
Right. Well,
Maybe a little
mean-
later, too.
the cost would have been great, but like I said, I made the call, but I you know, everybody had their choice.
Don't look back. Keep looking forward.
Right.
Can't change
Yeah.
the past. Let's just keep moving forward.
So what do we do moving forward?
Well, we have what we came for.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be the other army could be coming. Who knows when? If it goes south, we probably should make some sort of plans to get out of here.
I mean, the original plan was to hold off as long as we could. It was to delay.
I mean, we're still early in the siege.
Yeah.
So, I mean, personally, that army could
Yeah.
still be coming.
Yeah. I don't think we can really count on it, but we'll see. Hey, Georgie, get me an ale. Georgie, give me some ale. Ale, 2 ales.
I mean, I don't see...
Georgie goes hopping out of the room and quickly skedaddles down, disappears.
I don't see anything we could do to take out those catapults. It's just too far for us to run out there. There's too many men out there, and there's no ballista in this castle, as far as I can tell. Oh, ballista, but not another catapult that we can launch.
Either way.
The one we brought back with us.
So, yeah, I know.
I mean, maybe we could build one and start lobbing stuff out that way.
I am gonna put my faith right now in those who have the experience in such battles.
I don't know, most of my battles had a ceiling over my head. Completely different tactics.
Well, we have to be in a line with what our goals are right now, right? I think my number one goal, and I thought the number one goal for some of our group was to rest and to gain back some of their abilities so that they can have the most impact when the time comes that they'll need it.
I don't think we've got that kind of time. That's just my personal opinion.
Right. I mean, that's way up there. We're way down here. We're fine. I'm not worried about it.
A little plaster falls on your head.
She's like, she knows when something's gonna fall rock-wise, so she's not gonna worry. If you see her running, then you know there's problems.
Yeah. Where's that damn monkey with the right ale? Taking forever.
Georgie comes back a few minutes later, scurrying into the room. 2 mugs. They're about half filled with this by this point. There's like a trail of ale behind her, or him, or whatever it is. It, they,
Yeah.
he, she, other.
Georgie, the barrel next time. Just bring the barrel next time. Thank you, though. We'll take that.
Well,
We'll
you
take
got
it,
that
yeah.
little furry thing
taken
to Odin.
To Odin.
To Odin and to the battle to come.
To
Just
the battle
remember,
to come.
if we die, we end up at his table.
Yeah. Take it back.
Okay. Anything else you guys are doing that day?
Just hanging out.
Those of you who have any comings and goings throughout the building, you see some of the residents of Mordgarten who were downstairs who can fight are being armed. The others are kind of being moved toward the cellars, away from the large common area itself. If you're not doing anything else...
I'm waiting for Aldrich to come back, but whenever he decides to come back.
Yeah, I'll probably come back maybe a little after lunchtime, maybe.
Okay, no problem.
And where were you?
In the dungeons.
In the dungeons.
I knew you were going to end up
Did
there.
they put you in the dungeons, or you went down there by choice?
I wanted to scope out my possible future.
Yeah.
Did you talk to your friend down there?
I spoke to the prisoner. I also scouted out the exit. They are working on sealing up that escape route.
What size blocks are they using?
2x2s.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And what did the prisoner have to say?
He thinks me some minor German noble or some relation to a German noble.
Did you hit him really hard?
No, not yet.
Oh.
And are you this noble? Or do you have this relation?
I'm not a noble that I know of, but it's the second person to say that to me.
Is there a reason to think that you may or may not be this individual?
No,
When's the last-
my mother was German, but we've been in Venice since I was 2 years old.
Who was your father?
My mother was only 15 when she had me.
All right.
So why is it that you doubt that you could possibly be this person?
I don't doubt it. It just seems very improbable, but I think maybe at least it's information I could use to our advantage at some point in the future.
Well, does he think this just because you look like somebody else, or just because? I mean, because if you even see this person, if they haven't seen you since 2 years old, right?
From what he says, there is a sibling that I bear a remarkable resemblance to.
So because you have a resemblance to this person, they think you are this other person?
They think I am this person's sibling.
Does that make entirely sense to you?
No, but what does make sense to me? We're looking for a holy lance to kill a vampire lord, so what...
Right, but what I'm saying is there any period of time where you may have been this other person? Maybe you've always been...
Were she alive, I could ask my mother, I suppose.
She never mentioned any siblings?
Did you ask about who this person is that they think you are?
Yes, they told me he's the Duke or the brother of the Duke from some small...
Did they say that this person had gone missing at some point?
They did not say that.
Did you ask them?
No.
Maybe you should find out if that person went missing. I mean...
Possible. From what it
doesn't sound like they're surprised that you're alive.
No, I don't think that they think this person missing. They think this person is me. I understand. Is that how I understood it? Aldrich. Yeah.
How did you understand?
I've observed you long enough to know that you're a man who likes to beat around the tree, or whatever the human phrase for that is.
Yeah, that's a bush.
Or whatever.
Beat around the bush.
Tree is good.
It's a green. It's green.
Yeah. Just so you know, I don't want you to mix up.
Why don't you go back there and just be direct? Ask him direct questions. Because you're obviously looking for answers. Just be direct with the guy.
I don't know that I could trust this person.
Who cares? He's in a prison.
He's in a
He's in
prison.
a jail. You want me to go down there? When you're done with him, I'll kill him. It's as simple as that. And then we'll have blood for a carpet.
And then we can just fly out of the castle.
And then we can just fly out of the castle. Problem solved. We just
Presuming he's innocent.
How big is this carpet?
Your stature belies your wisdom.
These tassels, everybody can hold the tassel.
Problem solved. We'll park the cart on top of the carpet.
The cart's gone.
That's right, yeah.
I'm not entirely sure that he's innocent per se, but...
Go down there and get your answers that you're seeking. You're not going to find him up here.
I don't know what answers I am seeking.
Just ask him. Just be more direct. He's in prison.
Show him that music box of yours. Maybe you might know where that came from.
Music box.
Just ask him, has this person been missing since the age of 2?
And when they say no, you say, okay, well, maybe you're confusing me with someone else, but tell me about this other person.
I suppose that's what I'll have to do.
We can go with you if you want.
If you're certainly welcome to it. Maybe you have more questions than I do. It's just
Yeah.
all swirling around in my head right now. and I
Down
don't
might be
know.
better because the ceiling is.
Yeah,
just-
I'd rather be
it's
deeper, to be honest
just
with you.
chunks falling here and there.
Perhaps. Sounds like a good idea. What else do we have to do here?
It's
right?
important for us to know where we came from, okay? And if there is a gap in your memory or history, or if you came from some other lineage that you may no longer be aware of, well, then you should know what that story is. And you should not be afraid to ask questions. You should not be afraid of some man who's locked up in jail who is expendable at this point. Get your answers.
I wouldn't say I'm afraid of him. I'd rather say that I don't want to be tied down by any past that I might not know.
He's not going to be your girlfriend, right? Just
You're not tied down
you
by any
know, how would
past.
you won't be tied down. How would you be tied down?
I am Alderic. I am the urchin of Venice, and I perhaps do not require any further explanation to my beginnings than that.
But this is
Well,
your-
you also need to be honest with us too, because when you say it that way, it makes me think that you at some point became Aldrich, and there's a period before Aldrich that you're not being honest with us about.
I can assure you that all of my time I have been Alderic. That is who I know.
Aldrich, let me tell you something. We're in the middle of a siege.
Yes, we are.
We don't know how long this is going to last. This guy has answers. You only got a limited amount of time with this guy. So if you're at peace with not asking him any questions, then stay up here and have some beer. We'll have Georgie get you a mug. Otherwise, your answers are down there.
Are you not sure, or do you think in any way that you might be this other person?
I would not normally think that.
Insight check. Can I do that, Tom? Can I insight check him and try to get
Inside
him?
check him? Sure.
Yeah.
Just not an NPC.
Okay. 18. You have to roll against it, right? You have to roll a deception check.
You want to roll this?
Unless you're not
It's
lying.
up to you.
I'm honestly.
It's up to you.
No,
You
I'm not-
you don't. I'm not going to make you force you to.
No, I'm not being deceptive. I'm not being deceptive. I'm telling you. What was the question again now?
Whether or not you think there's a possibility that you might be this other
This is
person.
Aldrich being honest now. I would honestly think this would be some type of ruse, but the fact that two people so far from home have said this to me, it does make me question.
Okay. Let's go get the answers you seek.
If you wish,
Should we bring the carpet?
just in case. Is the carpet on the cart though?
No, I put it in the back.
Yeah.
He's not letting that carpet go.
Just, hey, if those peasants die, I got something to mop up that blood with.
I don't think it works that way. I think you have to. I don't know.
You got to slam
With all these comings and goings, it's probably toward early evening at this point. Are you going back downstairs? Are you doing anything else today?
We'll let him sit. We'll go tomorrow.
Yeah, we
We'll
can
let him sit.
Okay.
let it rest.
Food is still being served from the mess hall. If you want food from the mess hall, from the large common room off of the ground floor, people are dodging back and forth to get to it as the rounds are like impacting. And they seem to be impacting at the top of that building and at the top of what you would call the keep, which is to my right front, most of your left rear. This large building, which is the largest building, and then falling off to the side. They're just constantly barraging them with stone, and then large bales of flaming material that are just kind of slamming into it. Right now, as the roofs are holding, the flaming material is not doing much. It's just kind of exploding and being more of an annoyance than anything else. You go downstairs, somebody goes downstairs and gets food, or Georgie scatters across to grab you some chicken legs or something. Yeah. Or drags a chicken bouncing across the stones.
Yes, perfect.
Every once in a while dropping it to cool off its tiny hands and occasionally peeing on its hands and then reaching, grabbing the chicken leg and running along.
I'm going to give him a little wicker basket. carry around on his back. While I'm just resting, I'm gonna make a little backpack made it like a little straps with like a wicker basket on the back of it.
It takes him a little while, but he ends up bringing about 3 chickens up to you. When they get to you, they're kind of beaten and battered and so forth, and some pieces have fallen off, but it's still chicken.
You're saying it's tenderized.
There you go. It's good. It's enthusiastically tenderized.
Tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken. Ba-dum-bum. Night falls. The relentless pounding continues. Are you staying up on the walls all night long?
No.
Okay. I mean, there are troops. They're hunkered down behind the crenellations. They're looking in between just to make sure that nothing's happening. Matthias, you would know just from your siege experience, it's unlikely until they get a breach of some type that they're gonna risk throwing everything at the walls, unless there was a reason to do so. And it doesn't seem like you don't see anything happening at the moment. And just based upon what they had told you, the approximate location of that other army, you know that it was 2, maybe 3 days away at best case. So it could be 4-ish, maybe 5, what have you. So you don't see anything. Are you staying up top, or what are you doing, Matthias?
I am going to be staying up top, not exerting myself too much, but keeping an eye on things as they progress, so that I can be present if there's an emergency where I'm needed.
Okay, no problem. You're staying up top, and
yes,
the rounds continue to fall. Night falls. It is pitch black. You can see the rounds coming through the night, and as they continue to slam into the schloss itself, into the large, for want of a better word, it's kind of a grandiose keep more than a castle. It's a fortified keep. And hopefully this is not a perfect example, but this will.
Yeah, as I understand it, cool. Are they actually throwing stones, or are they throwing flaming wicker balls? Or
it seems to be a combination of both. So you see that the combination of the wicker balls are exploding, the debris balls are exploding on the rooftops, as well as the stones themselves. They seem to be trying to make penetration at the same time. They're trying to go ahead and light anything possible on fire, and also provide illumination for what they're targeting, all at the same time. It's just this continuous process. And it just they keep just lobbing stuff at it right now.
I see.
Roll a perception check with disadvantage.
Perception with disadvantage, okay. With my stats, that would be my perception. I had my wisdom. So with my wisdom added, that is
With perception.
Yeah.
Either way, I got a 19, so it's a dirty 20.
Okay, dirty 20. So you're standing up there at the edge, whether you're standing upright or peering in between the crenellations. They're pretty tall. They're probably on either side of you about 5 foot tall, and they're probably down in the low section about 4 foot tall. So you can stand in between them and quickly duck to the side if you felt the need to, or heroically just stand there. As the glowing balls come climbing up and across the field, it briefly illuminates the field in front of you, the distance from the enemy's position to the castle itself, and you can see that in the darkness that they appear to be digging kind of zigzag trenches, and they seem to have troops out in the darkness. You just get very, very brief glimpses of it, that there seem to be carving a trench line parallel to the facades of the castle itself, and then zigzag lines of trenches that go back toward their lines, if you will.
All right. Matthias looks around to see if there's anyone nearby who could act as a courier to Werner.
There's lots of troops. There probably are easily up on the roofs in your general vicinity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least easily 11 troops that you can see hunkered down behind crenellations of the castle walls.
Matthias points to one of them. You, what's your name?
I am Johann, sir.
Johann. Very well.
Johann's Meyer.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Take this with. I want you to bring a message back to Herr Werner. Tell him that the enemy is digging trench works parallel to the outline of the castle. They're digging in. What's more, we might be able to expect that they will begin to send out more scouting parties in the near future, possibly planning to begin undermining efforts.
Yeah, very well. Anything else, sir?
Much sooner than I expected at that.
Anything else, sir?
No, that'll be all. Thank you.
He takes the message, and he quickly scurries off. You're up on the walls.
Born's going to take a stroll up on the wall to go see what Matthias has got going on up there.
Okay. It is pitch black. You see these balls of fire periodically, probably about 1 every minute to 2 every minute, interspersed with rocks. They seem to be concentrating on the keep. They're kind of flying up overhead and standing there as you would, ignoring it. They fly over the top of you.
I don't pay any attention to it whatsoever. Matthias.
Boris.
How goes it up here? Oh, I wanted to check in with you.
The enemy is built. Very decent of you.
How's everything going?
The enemy's building trench works out there. They're digging in.
Okay. How far are they? Can you tell?
Roll an investigation
Will
check.
I be able to estimate a distance?
Roll an investigation check. You can roll with advantage.
Investigation.
Yep, with advantage.
Investigation with advantage. Okay.
Since they're lighting up our castle, is there any way that we can light up their position? Is there any way that we could light up?
20.
Ooh. He knows to the inch.
He knows to the inch. You take a quick glance, Matthias, and you think that their trench works are approximately the forwardmost points of it are about 30 yards, 90 feet-ish from your location, if you will.
They're close.
At the nearest point.
And then they kind of zigzag. Then there's like a zigzag trench going back, and you're pretty wise. You've been part of sieges, and so you know that they're using those zigzag lines to protect their routes back to their own lines, if you will.
Hey, Matthias.
The nearest is about 90 feet, 30 meters.
They're on top of
But
us.
then but that's not taking into account the various escape routes they built into the trench works to allow them a more expeditious retreat. Not to mention the additional trench works they've surely built and breastworks they've been inevitably built to protect their catapults and trebuchets. Though they might not have trebuchets. I doubt they have
How
trebuchets.
far? Can you tell how far their catapults are? Do you have a range on those?
That one would be more difficult. I could try to estimate.
We're going to take a quick pause. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on 7-sided die in the midst of a siege, and we will be right back.
guys are gonna die.
You are watching. They're all gonna die.
like you.
You're watching the Carpathian adventure on Seven-Sided Die, and they're all convinced they're gonna die. So we rejoin them in progress before their deaths.
Is that tar that he's putting on that, or what is that he put on that on the
Probably
boulder?
tar.
Yeah,
pitch.
Mattias, you're up on the wall. Borinth asks you to kind of guesstimate the distance out toward the enemy lines. Roll an investigation check.
Specifically the catapults.
The catapults, yes.
Yeah. That would be an 18.
An 18. You think they're somewhere between 380 and 420 feet from your lines.
What's the range of our ballista? Of that ballista? Does it have a range on it? I don't know. I must have some sort of a range.
Yes, it is within range. It's 120, 480.
When we start,
But it's down in the courtyard right now. You'd have to hump it upstairs or something like that.
okay, well, it does no good in the courtyard. Oh, I thought that was on top. I didn't realize it's in the.
Well, they just dragged it there because they.
Okay.
Is that the only siege weapon they have here?
Yeah, we got to get that ballista in a place where you can fire. Right now, it's just sitting in a courtyard. That's ridiculous. What kind of planning are you doing up here, Maggie? It's a good thing I came up here.
You know, we should have
Man.
done ballista in the rear of the cart.
Well, I suppose that it is somewhat obvious in hindsight.
Let's get the ballista up top, somewhere it can fire. I mean, we got to start. At least letting them know that we mean business as well. A couple shots at a couple catapults. Maybe we'll take one out. Maybe at least to make them duck their heads down a little bit. We got men digging trenches here. Maybe
The archers could start volleying.
yeah, we got to start doing something. Right? I mean, the trenches are within 30 yards of our walls.
What kind of commander are
They
you?
are, yes, and they're surely going to begin undermining efforts fairly soon. If they're moving back forward that quickly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they have the numbers to do so. We don't.
Where the heck is Werner in all this? Doesn't he have any ideas?
He sits in his tower. Maybe we should take Warner and put him on the ballista and fire him out over there.
I'm privy to that idea.
That sounds like a fun plan. I'd like to see it
The
regardless.
aerodynamics would be all wrong.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Either way, the result will be favorable, right? Let's get that. Let's get some men. Let's get that ballista up top. At least we can start putting some shots out at them. And let's once we get the ballista up in position, then maybe we can start sending some arrows into those trenches the best we can. Is there anything about this terrain that we could use to our advantage right now, or are they're just digging away?
We are inside, they're outside.
I'm just responding to somebody.
Until they get closer, we can't pour pitch on them. We can't do stuff like that.
I don't know what we have. Yeah, I don't know if we have pitch available. I don't know if
we have a little bit of like hot oil and pitch that we can dump when they get very close to the walls.
Okay, well maybe we should be sending out similar to what they're doing. We should start lighting up their defenses. Right? I mean,
Sure. So no Klaus.
We can wrap the tip of the ballista in some kind of flammable thing and light it on
whatever.
fire.
Maybe if we can hit a catapult and light it on fire, maybe that could help.
Sure.
Okay. How long do you think it'll take to get us this catapult up top?
It'll probably take you less than 30 minutes.
Okay.
You direct some guys around you to get that thing. Where do you want it? They're like, sir, where do you want it? I mean, this building behind us is taking a lot of fire.
No, we're gonna put it towards the front wall. Maybe where these two guys
this
are.
is the front. Yep.
Maybe where those two guys are up in that area.
Very
Is that
well
top
said.
of that's the top of a wall, right?
Yep. They
How
start.
about the far right. Oh yeah, right up in the middle.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
They go ahead and they hump it up there. They bring a whole
some beams to prop it up so that it can shoot over the wall. They end up having to stack material on top of material on top of material, and it takes a little bit longer than you probably would have desired, just so that they could be able to fire over this 5-foot high parapet and in between the crenellations of 4 foot. So they have to stack up a bunch of stuff, and they do it in like almost like a log cabin formation. They take beams and they put them crisscross, and then they lay a large platform across it, and eventually, probably about 30, maybe it takes a little bit closer to 45 minutes later, they've got it underway. And
when we used to defend in the Bavarian forests against arrow fire, we used to fill bags with sand, fill them up like woven bags, and then we used to stack them up to help protect us against the arrow fire. We can add a little bit on top of the.
Where did he find sand in the forest?
Ground?
In the ground?
Dirt, leaves.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to fill the bags up and we would
Beach.
put them in there, you know. You can stack them up. Try
so
to protect us some from arrow fire. if
one of the
possible.
troops says, we can take old clothes and
anything-
tie off the legs and pants or something
Yes.
like that and fill them with dirt. Where do
Anything
you want
that-
them?
Old bags, stack them up on the walls in front of the ballista so that there's a range to shoot the ballista from, but to protect the men that are
Yes,
working.
sir. And several of the troops go running off quickly. They go down toward the mess hall and into the basement, trying to gather up some clothes and start filling them with dirt.
Let's prepare a volley, right? We'll prepare a volley of arrows, and as we fire the volley of arrows, we're going to fire the ballista and try to hit one of those catapults.
Let's take it to him.
Let's get some action going here.
The challenge is you're firing into the dark, but you can see the flaming balls coming, so you kind of narrow the target down to where that's coming from. It takes a little while to concentrate your fire, and then the archers that you have are doing the best they can to kind of guesstimate in the darkness and in the distance where exactly that
Wanna
target is.
Get some pitch. Maybe we'll see if we can get some arrows with some fire on them to try to light up and try to figure out where they are. If we can light up any of the surroundings, right? They're lighting us up. Let's light them up.
The arrows start going flying back and rather from your fortress out toward them. Some of them are flaming, and you can see that they're falling short initially, and then they start to increase the range, putting in a greater arc into their fire, and it starts falling in closer toward the enemy location. You catch glimpses. I mean, it's pretty far off. It's like looking about a football field and a half away to capture what people are doing behind kind of barriers and berms. And every once in a while, you hear a scream from off in the distance. Ah! As somebody gets hit by something.
We're gonna fire this ballista first.
No, hold on.
What do you got?
So Kartra's gonna come up there, and you see you guys just like shooting out into the darkness. And I noticed that you have that spyglass still. Let me borrow that. Because I can see in the dark, and if I can get the spyglass, maybe I could see where everything is, and I could kind of guide you guys a little bit better that way.
Ooh. Did I give you a distance on what that magnification or anything like that is?
It's got to be
just
more than
that it zooms in further. You never.
It's got to be more than the range of the ballista, right? Imagine.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what it would do in my head. Okay, so you can kind of you zoom in. It's not as crystal clear as if it would be 60 feet away, but all of a sudden your vision, it just seems to extend your vision, that dark vision, much further out. I'm gonna say it probably goes. Give me a D8. And take that and multiply it. And it kind of varies because of the darkness.
So try to lock in on one of the catapults.
4. So right now, at first, because it's not like perfect vision. You're kind of adjusting it and so forth as you get used to it. Right now, it's 240 feet, so you can clearly see more clearly see the guys in the trenches, setting up this parallel line and cutting back and forth. And the trenches that they have created, they're very shallow. They've just started work on them. So they don't have. There's not like World War I trenches where they're 8 foot deep. They've just started and they're trying to do as much as they can in the dark. So that's what you see. Does
So
that
I'm
make
out there,
sense?
I'm like,
Can you lock in on one of those catapults?
on the catapult
Yeah.
itself?
And then what we'll do is we'll fire, and then you'll be able to be like a range finder, so
yeah,
we'll know
yeah.
where
So
we
send
hit.
a bolt down. I'll tell you where it's landing.
Okay, let's do it. All right.
It's, you're having a tough time seeing beyond that distance at this moment.
Right.
You just if you keep playing with it, you think it might get better. But right now, it's just you got to about 240. You think they're well beyond that, but you can clearly see the trenches and some of the zigzag lines coming up to them.
All right. Well, I could definitely see the trenches and all the people.
Okay.
Here's an inspiration, Medius.
Can you see you can't see the catapult at all?
It's way out there. It's not
That's
very
okay.
clear.
That's okay. We just need to know where we land versus where the catapult is, and then this way we can make adjustments.
Let's give
to
it a
our
shot.
fire.
Okay.
Let's give it a
You
shot.
you do the best you can. Just roll to hit with.
Okay, we're gonna put some pitch
straight
on
up.
the end of this thing. We're gonna light the tip on fire so we can see where it's going.
Roll with disadvantage at first. Somebody who's kind of controlling the crew.
I'll do-
You're doing it.
It doesn't. My stats don't matter at all. It's all a matter of
you got
what
the
this is,
card.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's an 18.
If they need
plus
us, I'll be
6.
helping with the range.
So 24?
And the
24. Whoosh, whoosh.
Oh, sorry, a 23. I rolled
A
a
23.
17 and an 18. My bad.
Okay, and it slams home, whoosh, and it seems to connect. It just kind of somehow made it made its way past the barrier and connected right with it. You see a small burst.
Okay.
Bullseye.
Load it again.
Is a very nice shot.
You're right on target on that.
Let's load it again. Let's load it again. Keep the range as is. Let's do it again. It
you
should've
got
lit
it.
up
You just
more
keep
now,
doing
right?
this, huh?
Did the fire light up at least a little bit in the air?
Yeah, I mean,
so now
you
we
saw
can
it
see
like
the target better.
Yeah, and you can see guys like scurrying in the distance. I mean, to the extent that you can see about a football field and a half away in the dark with little flames glippering, flickering around
though.
behind
They're
a
scampering.
berm.
Okay, let them have it again.
Okay,
So
a
it's gonna
few
take us-
rounds go
yeah.
by. It's about once every 3 rounds, I think, is what
So is
it
it
fires.
still at disadvantage? Because even though we lit it up. and we
No,
know
you can be straight up, sure.
Okay, we fire again. We good? Oh, nice. 17 plus 6. Another
If we
23.
can take out some of those
23,
catapults, we'll be making it much easier on ourselves.
Yep, that hits. Whoosh. And it seems to light it up a little bit more.
Do I have to do damage when I hit? Or no? Doesn't matter right now.
It doesn't really matter right
Okay.
now. I mean, I'm keeping track. I've got a general idea of what you guys are doing. You can see them kind of splashing water back off
They're
there
trying
in
to
the
put it out, man.
distance.
They're trying to put it out.
Whoosh. And then you let loose again. Roll
Yep.
again. Whoosh.
Ooh, natural 20.
Natural 20. It like bursts into flame. You can see some of the ropes on the catapult just like snap. And they kind of break loose at that moment, and there's a little burst of flame, and there's a bunch of people scattered around. You can see them kind of moving around behind one of the berms. And
Is
so
that
forth.
out of arrow distance with like a long bowman?
No,
Would that
it's
be
not
out?
at all.
Let him have it. Let's give him a volley right on that target.
You let them have it. Whoosh. Arrows. How many archers do you have up there?
Oh boy.
Might as well get all those guys in the courtyard up there too, right?
Yeah, everybody will fire.
12?
Okay, so you get everybody up there. They all let loose their arrows. Just give me a number.
12 archers.
We're 12. So
Including
roll. Huh?
Yeah, those two guys, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Roll. How many guys you got?
12.
12. Just roll 2d12, please.
Let them feel like heaven itself is raining its flames upon them, men.
7, 8, 9.
9. You see 9, amazingly, 9 of those arrows in that general area just surprisingly find targets and somehow manage to some guys fall down behind the berms. But who's looking through the spyglass?
You got a couple.
Okay, let's turn our focus on the other catapult.
Other
that we know of.
catapult. All right.
All right, we'll do the same thing while those guys are sending volleys of arrows
At the other one.
at the one that we just hit, right? Because there's men trying to fix it. There's men out in the
Right.
open. Keep your fire on them, and then we're gonna change our target to the other catapult,
All right.
and we'll light this one on fire again. We'll do the same thing over.
And while you guys are doing that, now you see the enemy. They've brought up their own archers, and all of a sudden now there's a hail of arrows that come flying. You see them.
Arrows incoming!
why we
come
got the
flying
sandbags.
towards you, huh?
Take
why
my
we got the
shield and
sandbags.
just bring it up.
Should you need them, you'll see two sets of troops down below, each with a D20 on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Those each represent 20 additional troops. So
Okay.
you have in the
there archers
castle
in it?
itself all of the troops that are visible, and then an additional 20 men-at-arms and an additional 20 archers as the total complement. Now, I mean, they're not all awake at any one given time, unless you force them all to be awake at any one given time. But
Okay. Well, let's shift our targets. So while the archers are firing on the one catapult that we just hit, we'll shift our target to the other one.
okay, and arrows come flying in the opposite direction. I'm going to say you have +5 on AC. What are their guys' AC? Do you remember?
The archers were...
Archers, here they are.
Do our sandbags
15,
help
13
any?
or 15.
15.
Do they increase that plus AC at all?
Well, I gave him +5. I mean, that's
13 for the archers.
That's
is-
pretty good.
But
What is
maybe
it?
that was
13
before
for the
13.
sandbags.
Okay, so
Half the sandbags, maybe it's +6. Just saying.
yeah, why not?
That was +5 was before the sandbags, so we made it sandbags and then it's +6. So. Just saying. Hey, listen, when we got stingy forces, we got to be stingy, right?
Yeah.
And
At the very least, we can't make it easy
exactly
for 'em.
have the
You hear somebody scream as they jab themselves with an arrow. Natural 20 on somebody. Give me a critical card, please.
On who, though?
On one of your guys up top. That's a great question. I don't know who yet.
Maximum damage arm. That poor arm.
Huh?
That poor arm.
Okay, 6 guys got hit. One of them got maximum damage. So we'll just call it. So 6 guys take. Let me just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
Oh, I'm up on the wall somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm going to say I'm up on the wall by then.
Put me
They're
here.
not there right now.
I'm going to be up here with
They're
Carter.
not there right now.
Carter's got to be up there.
Yeah, he's not there. He's not there. Okay. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, we can hear you.
7, 8,
We're gonna-
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
These guys are up
16,
here
17,
too.
18,
They're going to use
19,
their
20,
shields to
21,
help
22.
block.
I might slip
Okay, good
away.
enough. Okay. Huh?
Nothing.
What were you going to say?
Okay,
I'm
number
saying
10,
that they could use the
5,
shields
6,
to-
7, 8, 9, 10. Kartra, you got hit with an arrow. You take 9 points.
But the flesh
number
wound.
6, one of the guys at the catapult, the ballista took 9 points. Number 7, one of the guys at the catapult took. Number 19, we'll just call it this archer way over here, took 9 points. That's number 20, that guy over there took 9 points as well. That's 5, and then one more. And number 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and one of the guys at the ballista took 9 points. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This exchange just continues back and forth through the night. You guys are continuing to fire back and forth. They eventually start to pull their catapults back in the darkness at that juncture because they
wanted
see
to hit that one first.
Yeah, you've got the one that you've been attacking already, or
Well,
the
no,
other one.
After the one we hit,
Yeah, we want to get the
we
other
wanted
one.
to shift over to the other one and hit that one before they had a
Okay,
chance to
go
pull
for
back.
it. Roll
So we're
away.
lighting the end on fire just like we did before. Okay, you're looking through the
Yeah, I'm still
spyglass,
looking.
right?
Dump that back in there.
18 to hit.
18 does not hit.
So can we
It
tell?
goes slamming by.
Were you able to see through the rangefinder how far off we are?
How far off are they?
It's kind of hard to tell because you see very clearly out to about 240 feet for right now, but it's kind of hard to see beyond that. But you can see it's just difficult as all heck to tell.
Even though it was lit, we couldn't tell if it fell short.
You
if
know,
it
but
went
it's like
far.
it's like watching a dart of light in the darkness. It's
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
not like
They're not close. Put it that way.
Okay.
You were probably close. You're
Okay, let's
I
load
mean,
it and fire
close is
again.
right.
You were a little close.
Load it
Okay.
and fire it again.
You load it up. A couple more rounds go by. You continue. The archers continue to fire back at each other. Another cluster of guys. I'm going to say another 5 guys take a whopping 8 points each. You pick it. You distribute it however you want.
Are we tracking all these guys? You have numbers?
I'm trying to.
I don't even know how much health they have. How about that? How we? I mean, we're still firing back, right?
Yeah, you're firing back.
All right, we'll fire
Arrows
another
are
ballista
landing
shot.
out on them as well.
All right, Cartridge, we're gonna fire another ballista shot.
All right, go for it. I got it.
Ooh, 19 plus 6.
19, wham! It slams home into it. Roll.
You got it that time.
And it just connects nice and cleanly.
We got it.
Perfect
That's
range.
the range.
You're in there.
That's the distance. Let's reload it.
Okay, you reload. Some more arrows go flying back and forth.
We're gonna try to target our volley of arrows on that catapult for
8
any.
more of your guys take a whopping, this time only 8 points apiece.
Are they
Those
like all
arrows,
dead?
some of their guys are taking arrow shots as well.
All right. First chance we have to fire again. We'll fire again.
Okay, a couple more rounds go by. Fire away, and they're starting to pull it back. You can in the darkness.
22 to hit.
A 22, it slams home again. Yeah, it slams home. The ballista bolt slams into it.
Ooh, another hit.
Another hit. All right, keep targeting the volleys of arrows on that catapult. Let's try to push them back.
During all this chaos, Zyman is going to slip downstairs.
Whoosh. Okay, Zyman slips downstairs. Whoosh, whoosh. In the utter chaos, roll a perception check with disadvantage, Kartra.
Guidance. Oh, natural 20? Oh, no, I thought it was natural 20. Oh.
Still, it's a 17.
Ooh, 17. No. Okay.
Too dark.
Too dark. It's pretty damn dark out there. Okay. All of a sudden, from off in the distance, another ballista bolt comes hurtling in the opposite direction, and it's going toward number 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This guy.
Of course. Between the two
Of course.
Whoosh.
They know who's directing the fire from 300 yards away.
It's just pure. It's just totally random. He does have +5 to his AC. But 13 plus 5 is an 18. 18. He would not hit him, right?
For an archer?
No, he rolled a what was his?
Their
roll
AC,
to-
the archer's AC is 13.
Oh, his AC is 13. But no, but with the
So that'd
with
be
the
18 would be
it would be 18 with
yeah.
the
defense. Yeah.
defense, and his roll to hit here is plus what to hit? Plus 6 to hit, so he rolls a 13, 19. So this guy, 19, huh? It's 19 hits him. This huge bolt goes ripping. I'm just gonna say he collapses. In a spool of blood right in between Kartra and Borinth. This guy just gets
Kartra's
torn.
like, Mama! They've got a ballista.
I'm going to grab him by the hands and drag him away and dump him off to the side.
Okay, so you got his hands.
Yeah.
That's about it.
The rest is still there.
All right, let's.
How much longer you want to keep this up?
Let's do another. We're trying to force them to pull these catapults back. If we can get them to pull the catapults back, right? That changes their range. That changes their distance. They have to recalibrate before they can, right? Start hitting us back.
Well, they're pulling the one back now, right?
Well, we destroyed one, right?
Well, we damaged one.
No.
Probably
Okay.
you damaged it. You probably didn't destroy it.
Well, I'm thinking if the ropes are breaking and snapping on it, that's a lot of work in order to repair that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what our goal is. So
And the other one is hurt, but not completely.
let's fire at the same catapult again.
Okay,
Right.
You continue to fire, but you can tell that they've pulled it back at this point.
Oh, they
it's
did
kind
pull
of
it
hard.
back already.
Yeah,
Okay.
They're yanking
they're
it
not
back
just
now.
continuing to
And I can't
to
see it
sit
as
there
well.
Can
forever.
you see where that ballista came from?
No, I see where the ballista came from.
Roll an investigation check with disadvantage.
Investigation. 16.
16. You're like it's over there. somewhere
it's a
in
little-
there.
Yeah,
Shall I take a look and see if I
Sure,
can
go
judge
for
the,
it.
Yeah.
Roll an investigation with check with disadvantage.
Investigation with disadvantage. Okay, got it. With disadvantage, that is... Okay, and so, damn it, that was a natural 20, and...
Okay, well, you doesn't matter. You spotted it instantly.
I got the... I was with disadvantage. I was rolling the second one.
No.
That's 18.
18. No, you don't. You think you know the general area where it is, and then another bolt comes hurtling toward your direction. You're off to the side over there, and it's going toward number 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is Archer out, Archer out front.
zeroed in
Huh?
on me.
Oh, it misses. Whoosh, it goes high and flies over the top of him.
All right. I'm going to recalibrate once I saw that shot come in. I'm going to recalibrate and we're going to take a shot at that ballista.
Okay. Whoosh. You
Kinda
go
that
for
direction
it.
this
Take
way.
a general shot with disadvantage.
Come on. Oh, that's good. 15 plus 6. What's 21?
A 21. Whoosh, yep. Whoosh. And it slammed. Bam. It just... Somehow you managed to like get it right over the edge of the berm and slam into it.
Oh, you got it.
Nice. Okay. Let's
That's the
arrow
range.
fire right on that position.
Arrows just rolled. You've got how many archers left? Give me,
What do we
just
have?
call it 2d12. Roll 2d12, please.
Nice. 12 and an 8. 21?
21. 21 guys roll 1d8 plus and add plus, what's their?
They only get a +1.
They plus 1. Add 1d8 and plus 1.
1d8 plus 1. 4.
4. You see 4 guys get way off in the darkness, in the glowing light. The 4 guys get pierced by arrows. Send me a critical card, please. Whoosh. Actually, send me 2 critical cards.
And then we're going to do another ballista shot. Right at that location again. Right where we got it zeroed in on.
4, 5. Okay. Understood. Roll again with disadvantage in the darkness there. They're trying to pull back.
We have it zeroed in now.
You're shooting into complete and utter darkness behind a berm. A 400-ish, 380 to 419. Whoosh, it slams into the berm right in front of it. 6, 7.
Okay, I want everyone to take cover now. Everybody take cover.
9 guys up top take... While they're shooting, take a whopping 11 points of damage.
Basically,
And,
we'll stop in there.
huh? And number 1, the far guy over here gets double damage. He takes, what did I say? How much was it?
You said 9, so
9,
that's
so he
18.
takes 18. And number 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Borinth, you get hit. You get struck in the head. Roll a
I got a crit
DC
against
18.
me? No. Really?
Roll a DC 18 con check.
That should be easy for you.
And you take 27 hit points of damage.
You got this, bro.
You got it. You got it.
Spike the arrow out of the air.
Come on.
Ah! Borinth is yelling, fire,
Con
fire, and then slam right into the skull.
Ooh.
Come on.
Borinth, are you alright?
It's +5,
A
right?
check or a save?
I don't know what it was.
Well, it matters.
Let's call it a save.
Okay. So that's 18.
Yeah, you're good. You're not stunned.
Okay.
You just take 27 points of damage.
Here goes my long
Piercing. Well, you're not raging.
You
at the
okay?
moment. So
No.
piercing damage.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're fine. I'm fine.
All right, everybody.
I think a lot of our men are getting hit up
Let's
here.
rotate these men out with some of the reserves that we have. So let's get another 12 men back up on this wall. I want everyone to take cover, though. I don't want anyone to be taking any arrow hits right now. I want all men under cover.
Okay, all the men pull back and get down behind the berms right at the moment. And they call down below and they call up for more troops.
and they start to cycle them.
Yep, we're gonna
cycle
rotate 'em
them,
out.
cycle them out.
So men go get.
Some of the
healed
guys
up.
who are coming up, it's the middle of the night at this point. They're groggy and they're tired. They haven't gotten a full night's sleep. But the other ones start to migrate their way downstairs.
Trainer.
That's fun. I'm going back to bed.
You're going back to bed.
Good luck with this, guys.
Okay. So you're staying up top, the rest of you?
Bring the fight to them.
I've already
man.
gone downstairs.
You went down.
I snuck away
Bring the fight to them the best you can.
during the commotion.
I'm gonna go and do something about this head wound.
Okay.
You do that.
You're watching the
Make sure you
Carpathian
don't
Adventure
die.
on 7-Sided Die, and I think Borinth is leaving us for the
Yeah,
night.
I
He's got to
gotta
run
go.
off and do family stuff instead of Dungeons and Dragons. And
Yeah.
we will be right back.
Eh.
We rejoin the party at the siege, I guess, of Kyberg in Schloss Svies. And we're back with the party up on the walls. Some of the archers are cycling themselves out. Borinth goes down to try and get some rest, to pull the arrow out of his skull. and they're hunkering down behind the walls themselves. It looks like the enemy troops, as you peer through. Roll another D8, please.
6.
6. 6 times 60 is 3. What is it? 360.
Yeah.
You can now see, you've learned to focus a little bit better. You can, looking through it, you can see about 360 feet out in front of you. It's still not quite as far as the enemy lines. You can't clearly make it out. But what you can see, obviously, they've learned as you have learned, and they're adjusting their positions and so forth.
They're getting the beat on us over here. Thaddeus.
The catapults, you don't see them at the moment.
The catapults have pulled back. They have the ballista. They got archers. How much longer do you want to keep doing this?
Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to stop soon, but for now, I think we should take at least a few more shots. What do you all think?
Well, you've got the most experience. I'll listen to what you got to say when it comes to human warfare. I mean, long warfare.
What did you say?
All right, we're going to take a couple more shots.
Okay,
Let 'em live.
it's kind of just a shot in the dark. The ballista, what are you firing at? I mean, you don't see, you're just trying to fire at troops or just trying to harass? Or...
Well, we're going for the ballista still.
Okay, you fire away. Just fire with disadvantage. And you're like firing into the dark at this point. It's just pure and utter darkness.
I don't know what the plus is.
Plus 6.
An 11.
You don't even see where it goes. I mean,
you fire
well,
it?
first of all, it's dark and bolt goes off. You can't tell anything anyway.
Nah, we're way off.
I'm downstairs. I can't see where
Well,
I
I'm just talking to him.
I was aiming.
Okay, you let loose a few more. Just fire 2 more times with disadvantage. Nothing.
16 and less than 16.
And it's kind of hard to tell. You're not really sure. You could be hitting it. You might not be hitting it. Just.
Yeah.
They seem to have stopped firing back with the ballista at this time.
It might be hitting some guys as it's like careening across the ground.
All right.
You know?
I think we should call it for the night. I think we showed them that they're not going to get it easy.
Yes, I agree.
All right.
It's
You want to pull that ballista back down so they don't start shooting and break it?
I think that'll be the best.
All right. All right, men.
Help.
Pull it up and bring it down.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Matthias contributes to that.
It's way up on top of several wooden beams. About 3 foot, maybe even 4 foot high of beams, and then a platform that they quickly threw up there. So it takes some manhandling, probably 15, 20 minutes just to get it down. It's a little easier to get it down than it was to get it up there, and then they kind of lower it gently over the side wall down into the courtyard and down into it. What are you guys doing? I mean, are you trying to get any rest overnight, or are you just going to kind of stay up here?
Yeah. No, I'm going to go down and try to get some rest.
I'm continuing the long rest.
Okay, you're down in the room on the first floor in the main keep. You go down into the first floor. Matthias, you're still up top?
Yes, I am. I'm still keeping watch, even though the ballista has been brought down.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure that nothing can get past our defenses without at least some warning.
Okay. Probably an hour, maybe 2 hours go by. Actually, we'll say 2 hours go by, and the catapults from the enemy position open up again from a different position than they were before, and they just start relentlessly firing again. And they're just, it's taking them a little while to recalibrate where they're firing, and they just keep plummeting on the building. But they don't seem to be firing any arrows at this time or anything like that. Are you just staying up top, keeping an eye on the situation?
Yes.
Okay. This continues on through the night.
Let me know if you're doing anything. You guys are downstairs.
I'm gonna try to find a quiet corner, as quiet as I can find in such a circumstance.
You're on the first floor.
Yeah.
You hear the, but it's not as loud as it was upstairs by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm try to like seclude myself in a corner and take my book out, and got a little glimmer of the power that it might hold within it, and I'm once again gonna cast Identify, take the time to cast Identify, and call on the gift of Barbarossa, and just hope that there's something in this book that may be able to help us in our current situation.
Refresh my memory. What was your gift from Barbarossa? Because I don't remember off the top of my head.
Zyman may now decipher the literal meaning of written non-magical text. You must be touching the surface on which the words are written with your hand. It takes 1d10 plus 10 minutes to read.
Okay, I got it. I remember it now. Okay, so you cast Identify upon it, and it
Just
appears,
trying to dig deeper into that sense that I got, kind of, I guess.
Right. And you get a sense as you look at it. See if this works. You're listening. You engross yourself into it, and as you concentrate on it, you realize that there's some type of spell embedded into it, but the spell itself is beyond your comprehension. All you pick up is the name of it, Apocalypto del Cielo. APOCOLIPO. Second word, del, DEL. Third word, cielo, CIELO. And that's all you pick up. It's obviously a higher level spell than you're able to understand. And it's buried into the text and somehow magically written in between it. And you just, and as you're reading, you have this overwhelming sense of that it's something obscenely powerful and perhaps even very wrong. As you look at it, you glance, and the text you were looking at when Benzo D'Alessandro was telling you about the concept of azimuths, that there were three sets of numbers. There was a 060295, there was a 061934, and there was a 0931167. And that you just, somehow it comes to you that the first three numbers represent an azimuth. If north is 360, that 060 represents a direction, that 061 represents a direction, and that 039 represents a direction, which only can mean to you that the other numbers are some kind of reference from that point.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. You find a quiet space down in. You're downstairs as well, trying to rest, Aldrich, I'm assuming?
I can't sleep. I'm going to go back down to the dungeon.
Okay.
Oh, no, first, I'm sorry. I wanted to speak to Carter first. What goes on up there?
Well, we tried to hit the catapults, which we succeeded.
They pulled them back. Kind of bought us a couple hours at best.
But our situation has not changed.
Not at all. And we're down a man or two.
What are the estimates? How long do they expect to last out?
I don't know. I'm afraid I'm not versed in human siege warfare. I couldn't tell you.
I am not either, to be honest with you.
You're not human?
Well, I cannot sleep through this noise and battery. I'm going back down to the dungeon. I have further questions for Nicholas.
Do you want me to go with you?
If you cannot sleep, you're welcome to join.
I'll go with you. Might do you good to have another set of ears.
Okay.
I'm just reading. I don't want to go with you.
Nerd.
I kick an empty tankard at your head.
At this point, the guards are no longer accompanying you throughout the building. You see guards scurrying all over the place, taking bandages to wounded people, following the guidance of gathering up old clothes and using them as...
We lost Rainer.
Gathering up old clothes and using them as, in effect, sandbags, filling them with dirt, tying off the bottoms of the legs, tying off the bottoms where they can with rope through... Probably not through belt loops themselves, but through some other means, and they're running about and they almost disregard you. You make your way, having seen the path down through the spiral tunnel down toward the basement, and this time when you go down toward the basement, you still see the cells, but you also see that the basement is filled with a lot of other of the townspeople that haven't been armed, they're now kind of hunkering down in the safety of the
bunker.
of the safer area of the castle, if you will, and he is still behind. Nicholas Bachman of Thuringia is still behind the bars where you left him.
I'm going to approach. Is he awake?
Sure, he's awake.
Okay. I'm going to reach into my bag, and I pull out my music box, and I open it, and it plays what I assume is some type of German tune, folklore perhaps, kind of music.
He looks up, he stands up, he walks over, and that is a fine tune. Does it mean something to you?
My mother played it often. Should it mean something to me?
Am I speaking to Aldrich or the man who shall not be named?
You may speak.
Perhaps it is something from your past that you either choose to may ignore or pretend did not happen, but you carry that, so it must mean something to you. I have not heard this sound before, if that is what you are asking me. But I know not. Yeah. He leans in. Please do not take this rudely, but with all that is going on, if you have a chance to spare a chicken leg, greatly appreciate it. Even a piece of bread. But if not, I understand.
I think we can arrange something.
That would be very grateful.
I'll send the monkey down.
A monkey.
No, don't eat the monkey. He will bring you chicken.
A monkey will bring me chicken?
Yeah.
Very well.
Or a dwarf.
Yes, I do not know.
Please clarify for me. This William you speak of, he is someone that looks like me, or someone that is related to someone who looks like me?
I honestly don't know. I briefly thought I saw you or William in Thuringia, but if it is not you, then it is the man I saw looks like you. I hope this castle holds, or siege ends before it collapses on us. I could be wrong though, but the likelihood you said that someone else spoke to you of the same. It seems strange that I would be the only one who thought such. But you are saying, when was the last time you were in Thuringia?
I've never been to Thuringia. I know not this place.
Well, unless you have the ability to be in two places at one time, I don't know.
Where is this Thuringia located?
Thuringia is probably a week's ride, maybe 10 days to the north and slightly east. Maybe northeast.
And you've obviously seen this William somewhere else before that you would recognize him?
I mean, I thought I don't know you.
I mean, like, where's the first time you've seen this William?
In Thuringia.
In Thuringia. And you knew who he was? Someone told you who he was?
Well, he's a noble. I believe he's the son of a count or a duke.
How long ago was this?
A year, maybe 2.
And what's his reputation?
I don't know of him that well. I mean, he seemed slightly, shall we say, aloof. Very, does his own thing. I don't think William and his father necessarily get along, but I don't know.
You're speaking of Henry.
Yeah.
Who is the Duke?
Yeah.
I wonder why they do not get along.
I mean, I believe that's what it is. I mean, I'm not an expert on the lineage of Thuringia, but...
You're from Thuringia?
No.
Oh.
I'm from Saxony, which is not far from Thuringia.
I appreciate your information with this. It is intriguing. I would like to know whatever else you might know about this region and also about your home of Saxony.
Saxony is quite beautiful. It is, but it is large. It is it encompasses other areas as well. What is it you wish to know about Saxony?
Please, regale me with the customs and the traditions of the people, and yourself, perhaps your family, and its line, heraldry.
Very well. He proceeds to outline it to you in detail, and nothing strikes you. He talks about his parents and his brothers and his sisters, and nothing strikes you as unusual in anything he's telling you as he goes through it.
Making mental notes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's dark down here. That's why nobody seems to recognize you for what you are. It's in the dungeons. It's pretty dark. It's not dank per se, but you can see it's crowded down here, and the mass of humanity that was up in the common area has moved down. A lot of them have moved down here. You could tell that all of the individuals down here, with the exception of Nicholas in the cell, all of the others are, for the most part, non-combatants. They've occupied some of the other cells, but with the doors open, and occupied some of the open spaces around the area down
Do they have any food or rations with them that I can
They have some.
I'm going to grab some or ask for some and then bring them over to Nicholas.
He's... Thank you. That is very generous of you.
I said chicken, not rations.
Like it.
He takes it and he quickly scrubs it down. He's like, I understand is that there are other priorities right now than prisoners. So I do appreciate it.
Well, it is custom to take care of upper class prisoners. is it not?
Yeah. Well, I mean, oftentimes for ransom. And sometimes they are executed if they feel as though that they might become too difficult to control. But I am bound in a cell, so
You're probably in the safest spot. The castle, for now.
Yeah, perhaps. Although it doesn't seem to be stopping.
Do you know anything about that blue-haired gentleman? The weird accent?
I have seen him, yeah.
Goose something or other?
His name is, I believe it's Gudsnachneo. Yeah. He's a mercenary. I guess mercenary is a bad word, but mercenary of sorts. He was hired by Leopold and I guess indirectly Unterhandler.
What do you think, priest? Does he speak truth?
I see no reason why he would lie.
Yeah, I have no
Sure you
reason to
don't?
lie to you about that. I mean,
Sure you don't have a twin brother?
It's news to me if I do.
Was your mother ever around Thuringia when she was young?
She did not speak of where she came from. Just that it was Greater Germany, where in Germany she would not know. Strange. Okay. Perhaps we should check out this exit over here.
Yes. Take a look at the walled up.
you make your way over in between the cells over toward where the walled up area is, and I mean, on the surface, it's smoothly walled up. It looks like they've used stones and mortar and tried to...
2x2s.
Plywood.
If I wanted to knock this thing down, how long would it take me?
Roll an insight check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You think that the mortar and the stones themselves are fairly loose, and that you could break through it very quickly. The question in your mind is, how deep did they go with it?
It shouldn't be an issue. It's just a matter of, how far in they went. It could be a matter of a few good swings, or it could be like an hour's worth of work to dig us through.
Perhaps the bear could get us through it quickly, yeah?
Probably.
It is good to know.
Yeah. Our options are very limited and running out.
I do not think our time is much longer in this keep. Okay.
All right, well, I am going to go get some rest.
No,
Unless you need anything else.
I'm going to turn to Nicholas and say, anything else that I can do for you? Or anything else you need
This
to
is
say?
very generous, thank you. Very, very much.
I will inquire about a ransom for you.
Yeah, I mean, these things don't press. I mean, I don't want to be executed precipitously. These things normally work themselves out after the battles are over.
Of course, it should be noted that I was caught stealing from the castellan of the keep and did conspire to kill him, so he might not take my request for it greatly. But just
I
being
have
fair
no
with you.
idea what you speak of.
Exactly.
Perhaps you're not the one to best speak on my behalf. Then, if, but beggars cannot be choosers, my friend.
Hey, well, we Germans must stick together.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. You have a bit of an Italian accent, but still, yeah, yeah. Very well.
Start to accept the fact, huh?
Just playing the part, man.
There you go.
Okay, guten Tag.
Guten Abend.
That's it.
Wie geht's? You are watching the Carpathian Adventure on 7SD Die, and we will be right back. Guys. Welcome back to the Carpathian Adventure on 7-Sided Die. We rejoin the party in the midst of the siege. Anybody else doing anything else?
I'm going to attempt to take a short
Well,
rest.
you could just fix my
Okay,
camera.
you're taking a short rest. Understood.
Fix Runner's camera.
Oh, I'm
Oh, yeah,
sorry
how
about
do you do
that.
that?
Tap the screen and then hit the little camera icon on the far. There you go, right there. It's got a line through it. There you go.
How's
Awesome.
that? Better?
Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, you're taking a short rest rather. Everybody else
I will
is
take
in the.
I will take another short.
You're going to
rest
take
as
another
well.
short rest as well. Understood. And you're still in the midst of your long rest there.
Is this day 2 or 3 of the long rest?
We are. It's just finishing up day one.
Oh.
Day one overnight into. Actually, you got 24 hours. You're 24 hours into your long rest. If that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm guessing by getting hit, that
And
nullifies the long
Mattias,
rest,
are
right?
you still taking? You didn't.
probably
You didn't discuss it with us. You could have taken a short rest. Actually, you could have taken 2 short rests by now, or you could take a long rest, or you could have started a long rest and be about a day into a long rest. Well, actually, you couldn't have completed 2.
Two short rests.
Okay, so you're going to try and take a short rest overnight. So you're going off the wall.
Only for the brief rest, yes.
Okay, well, it's going to be 8 hours, so it's till the morning, if you will. Okay, so you go down to the first floor and venture down to below.
So the first one would have been. So I would have already taken one. Or...
Yes, you would have finished one, and you're in the midst of starting another one now. Okay.
Okay, so how much would I have regained from that?
You can expend up to half your hit dice if you want, and to regain hit points. And if you have any short rest resets,
Right, I forgot that's how that works.
if you have any short rest resets, which I don't know what the Cavalier has. If you have any short rest resets, then those would reset. If that makes sense, you have to.
So my first one gives me back 19 points, so I'm now up to 77.
Okay.
And I will roll the second one once it's finished.
Okay, sounds good. And you have to look at your class sheet to see if you get back any abilities, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are downstairs. The night has already fallen. The relentless pounding. Sometime way overnight, you hear like a collapsing from up above. It doesn't affect you down below. There's a little bit of dust and debris falling down through, and but the night passes basically uneventfully. Are you back in with the room with them? Okay, and so in the morning, everybody roll a DC 15 con check, please.
Natural 20.
Natural
20. Hey.
DC 15 con. Okay.
Unnatural 16.
My roll is.
Just a
Okay,
check,
and
right?
with my constitution, that's +6. So 22.
Okay, everybody succeeded? Okay, despite the constant barrage, you slept reasonably well. It's just the constant pounding. The following morning, those of you who did another short rest, you completed a short rest.
Should I roll my hit dice to see what I gain?
Absolutely, you can.
I am not going to roll any more hit dice, but I will take 1 5th level spell slot.
Oh, 9. All right, I'm back to full.
Okay, understood. What'd you get back, Dennis?
I got 9 back, so I'm back to full.
I thought you were at full.
No, I got hit with an arrow.
Oh, okay.
And you only get hit dice on a long. Hit dice back on the long, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to save mine just in case.
I should have did short.
Correct. You mean get them back to
Yeah,
to replenish them?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Okay. The second day, you can see a little bit of light poking in through what few doors as it kind of works its way through. You guys are all inside that one room. What are you doing?
Head up to the wall, I guess.
Okay, you head up to the wall.
Just,
Simon heads up to the wall.
I'll head up.
Mattias heads up there.
So
Alderic
Mattias.
heads up there. I'm sorry?
Yeah, Mattias was heading up there. Yeah.
Mattias was having an attack?
No, he was going up.
Okay.
We're all going up. We're all
Okay,
going up.
Mattias goes up on top. You can hear off in the distance the enemy. It's the morning. It's that gray period of the morning. There's still a fog that's hanging in the valley, but looking up, you can see through the fog that kind of morning where you can see like that it would burn off, and then above it there's some patches of blue and some clouds. So it looks like it's clearing up a little bit. Not going to be bright sunny day, but it's definitely a nicer day than it has been. You go up and you turn and you can see that the roof of the keep has collapsed into the 3rd floor down below, and they're still like pummeling it away and so forth.
So,
Is Werner up there?
Werner is yes, Werner is up there. He's over in this general area at this point.
Is Benzo?
Maybe it would be
This
best
guy is back up. Turn
if we
one
have
of
them
that
open
archer
up
things to 19.
the tunnels and we lead the civilians out of here.
I'll discuss it with him.
Just a thought.
This is a very odd omen. On the one hand, failure. On the other, a blue sky.
Well,
I
partly.
don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it.
You should urge Werner to surrender.
Looks mostly clouded.
He
to
won't
me.
surrender. He won't surrender his head.
Nor should he.
Every word that comes out of your mouth makes me regret having met you more and more.
I'm honored you think of me such.
Take it that way if you desire.
Carpathian customs of friendship are strange to me.
Well, our escapades last night looks like it only bought us a little bit of time. Hours at best.
I'll go speak with Werner, see if we can figure something out. Come to some sort of consensus on what must be done.
I'll accompany you.
Maybe I should stay here.
If it must be so.
We need someone with intelligence on this quest.
Oh, God.
What?
And obviously I should go.
Okay, you approach Werner.
I guess we will all go.
We're all going, okay? Come on. Bring the monkey too.
Good morning.
I thought this was an Aldrich and Matthias bonding moment.
Good morning, Matthias of Bathory. How are you? On this fine day, it looks like the sky is clearing.
Indeed. It is a day of very mixed omens. A blue sky on one hand, but the destruction on the other.
I'm sure there will be more
It's unclear to
destruction.
me what exactly the outcome means.
I'm sure there will be more destruction before the days are out, but we will
Sure.
hold. The morale of the men is good. Apparently you did some work on the enemy last night yourselves. It might have been
It
just
was-
harassment, but still it was a noble effort.
It was mostly my companions, especially Borinth, sir.
No,
Yes.
we can't make it easy on him.
No, most certainly not.
I am loath to say it, sir, but they seem to be moving far faster than I anticipated. I did not expect that they would advance this quickly.
Yes. Speak your mind, Matthias. Speak your mind.
I do not know what to say. I do not know what I think in this regard. All I can say is that I am shocked at with the pace at which they are taking this. Either they are entirely willing to take severe losses, or they are confident that they won't have to.
Well, these things never go quickly. Perhaps I think some go quicker than others.
Perhaps. Did either of you want to say something?
Well, they're definitely digging in like goblins out there. I mean, you're not going to dislodge them easily.
Do goblins dig in?
Oh, yes, they dig in.
Did you know goblins dig in?
The fog slowly starts to clear from the parapets. Starts to clear. Those of you on the parapets looking out, you can see the shallow trenches paralleling the castle walls. They're slightly more defined than they were last night. Although you don't see anybody working on them at this time. Still the shallow trenches paralleling the walls themselves, and they zigzag back and forth. In the distance, an ominous sight reveals itself as the fog slowly burns off. You see way off in the distance, towering over the enemy's position.
Trebuchet. Trebuchet. It hits a
As
lot
it looks
harder.
like they're getting ready to...
What?
Herr Warner,
Yes.
You have a significant civilian population here. I'm a bit of a tunnel rat. I would like your permission to lead them into the tunnels.
And what would, just to hide them?
To
Or-
hide them. I mean, this place is coming down, and that thing does not look safe.
Do you still have your hood up over you?
Of course.
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Here's my persuasion. Not too bad. 14.
I don't think we're there yet. I admire. Where would you lead them through? The tunnels from the dungeon?
Well, there are tunnels and then there are rooms down there. At the very least, they won't be in the castle if something breaks and collapses. One good hit, you can collapse that jail area and you're going to lose half of them. At least if in the tunnels, they have a fighting chance.
Can you...
And we can actually send out a little scouting party out the one.
Klaus, can you move the civilians from the dungeon to someplace else in the keep? I don't want to panic on my hands. You can open it, but don't lead anyone out just yet.
Do you want one of us or some of us to go out there and scout?
Scout what?
The enemy lines in the back. Or even signs of the other army.
If you want to try and cross this field to the...
Well, I'm saying going through the tunnels and out the side.
I think we need your strength here. I mean, if there's one of you to go, sure, I guess we could spare one. But
Matthias and I will go.
no,
No, Matthias is needed here.
I need those who can fight here.
Then you
I
don't
mean,
need-
if there's somebody
Klaus then.
who can be spared, I can spare one person, sure, to scout out. But I also don't want a rout of civilians.
Well, I could lead Alderic through the tunnels, and he's an expert at stealth.
Roll a persuasion check.
Come on, Loki, help me. 16.
He says, very well. If you think it might serve some purpose.
Intelligence. If we know that other army's coming, it'll bolster
Well,
us.
Perhaps my companions would be able to find some way to get to and disable the enemy artillery.
I mean, last I heard that path leads to the mountain to another valley beyond, and there would be you'd have to circle back around to the north through the Badenweiler, through the Dark Forest, and then east toward Mortgarten, and then come south from Mortgarten again. I mean, it's not going
My
to be.
mistake, then. I did not realize it was that circuitous.
look at
and
that
route.
days to
I
get
thought
there.
it came
It's
out
not-
somewhere nearer.
No, I mean, I don't remember. It's been years since I've heard anything about it. We haven't had need of it. But, I don't know. I mean, it's worth exploring, but I don't want to panic. I think we're holding. The castle is holding.
You know what? Evacuate the civilians from down there. This way
No,
they don't know
don't
what-
evacuate anyone just yet.
Before the siege begun, did you send anybody out to scout for or look for messages from the other armies?
We're in Benzo is in communication with
very
them.
good.
They're probably about 3-ish days away. They encountered the Frederick's other army, and they made well of themselves, but it was somewhat of a draw. The fear is I don't that they are retreating toward the valley to the south, if you will, not to the valley, to the draw to the south. But as you can see, I mean, Leopold's army has us surrounded here and has that draw now blocked off as well.
Matthias, looking at that trebuchet,
Yes.
how long before they destroy a castle wall with that thing?
Depends on the kind of shot they use, how skilled the crew is, whether the ropes have been damaged or rotted at all. there are quite a few variables, but
Carry the 3.
would I be able to make an estimated guess?
Sure, roll an insight check with advantage, given your military experience.
Insight check with advantage. So the insight is, and the second roll is 15.
You think to yourself, 2 days at the most?
A couple of days, perhaps 2 at the most. If in optimal conditions.
Well,
It's not an exact science.
it's good weather right now, and they're unopposed.
I mean also the condition of the trebuchet and the skill of the crew. There are so many variables that go into one of those things. The ropes, the pulleys, the angling of the shot, the...
Werner,
Yeah.
this is just, we're not saying one thing or the other, but what happens to you if you have to flee the keep? Do you go into exile, or are you, what happens?
Why would I flee?
Well, the nearest army's 3 days away. Mattias is saying you don't have that much time before they put a hole in this wall. There's far too many troops. You're not going to hold this keep. So I'm trying to find out what we can do to get you out of here safely if it comes to that. Where do we need to take you?
Perhaps you could regroup with one of the other cantons.
Or one of the other armies.
Yeah.
Even if I fall here, I think that our effort will be a spark that will light the enthusiasm and the people of the cantons. But I don't think we'll fall here. I wouldn't be standing here if I did.
All right.
I think we will somehow we will prevail. God will be on our behalf.
I hope so. Keep it in your mind.
You scout it out. We'll get the civilians out of the dungeon.
Okay.
And then by all means scout it out.
Okay. I'd just rather be prepared because it's not looking.
It's fine. The two of you depart, or what do you do?
Yeah.
Okay, Kartra and Aldrich, or whatever his name is, leave the walls. Leave the walls. A short while later, the Trebuchet opens fire. A massive slam ball comes slamming toward the front wall near the gatehouse. And it doesn't fire as frequently, but obviously from much farther back, it's throwing a much larger ball at this point. You two, what are you guys doing?
Well, we're gonna go down to the dungeon. Right?
You get down toward the dungeon. Okay, it takes you a little while, a few minutes to get down there. You get down there. They're still escorting some of the people back up into another part of the keep.
Warner is mad. Do you realize this?
Yes. Well, he hasn't fully accepted it yet.
He is not in his right mind.
It's a lot to give up.
If he thinks that this place will hold.
I've seen it before, and some dwarves, they don't like to let go of their little forts and things like that, and it's cost them and their men their lives. It may be different for him. He hasn't really seen the power of that thing.
Should we take the prisoner with us?
I was going to say that.
I think it might be a good idea.
I think it is.
You're not there.
No, I'm not.
You're not.
I'm about to do foolish things.
I want to kill Warner now.
You may get your opportunity.
Get your opportunity.
You have like a nice hit list going. You got Werner, Klaus,
It's growing.
Maddie is
What's
somewhere.
Simon doing on that list?
Simon, what did he do?
Oh, Simon.
The monkey?
Okay, so you get down to it. You're there. They're clearing out a few more of the civilians. It takes another 5-10 minutes for them to gather up all of their personal belongings while they're down there, and then they eventually escort them out of the room itself. Sitting in the corner on his bunk in one of the cells is Nicholas. He's like, my friend, Aldrich. Was is los? What is going on?
I'm gonna guess we can grab a key. Is there a key nearby or something?
There's probably one hanging on the wall.
I'm gonna grab a key, and I'll walk to the door and I'll open it.
He hasn't gotten up yet. He's still sitting there.
I reach into my satchel and I pull out just some very basic leathers.
Some guy's beating a guy to death with a limb.
I throw him the leather, you know.
What is, I agreed to not, I'm a prisoner, yes?
You will accompany us.
I am on parole still, though.
You're on parole.
Very well.
You're not going to be harmed by us as long as you don't harm, you know.
I am an honorable man, but I'm not being led into a trap here, am I?
No, but if you help us, your family don't have to ransom. We'll let you go.
This is very generous. What are you doing?
We're going to go scout out the tunnel, and then what lies beyond.
Very well.
And we can use another hand.
Very well.
Unless you would rather sit here scared with the women and children.
I think the scared women and children have left.
Exactly.
Well, we're also scouting this out because in case we need to get them out of here. Noble cause.
Very well. Very well, then. He puts on the leathers. Lead on, then.
Huh?
Should give him a weapon, right? Not necessary at this point.
That is up to you.
We have extras. We can always give him one. If necessary.
What's a dagger? 1d4? Come on.
Well, he's been nothing but honorable the entire time. So.
Okay, let me just grab something.
You know nothing of noble houses.
True.
Speaking like a true noble.
I would
I have
stab
a more,
you in the back immediately.
I have more of a
after you let me out
different
of
view.
jail.
I have a more of a clan-centric view, so we see like our clan is family. So, man, that guy bit it hard.
What's this movie? I gotta check.
I don't know
Joan
what
of
movie
Arc?
this is.
I think it's is it Joan of Arc?
You know, just take this whole section and put it right down there, like between the two of you, and set up your characters in it, if you would. And I think you guys have
It's not good.
Kind of map some of this out.
you have a figure for Nicholas down there somewhere, or you did.
We had.
did. Now.
Well, he's in. Here, I think.
You did it for the minis.
Oh, this is
Cartra.
this is him. Obviously, he's wearing whatever armor you
Yeah,
gave
there he
him.
is.
Okay.
I guess I'm leading the way.
Actually, I can see in the dark a little bit better.
Oh, maybe you're leading the way then.
This is more my area.
You're right. This is your.
I don't know. How's that look?
Close enough.
There we go. All right, so we're gonna. Oh, he's getting the sound effects going.
If I can find it. It takes you a little while to blast through the rock and the stone. Roll a d20.
14.
14. So it takes you about 28 minutes just dig away, a solid half hour of digging away and pulling the rubble out of the way. He's trying to help you with it at the same time as you're plowing through it. And then all of a sudden you break free and you can see this dark tunnel in front of you that you had been through, somebody had been through once before. The two of you had been through once before. You start your way down it?
Yeah.
Okay. You start your way down it. It kind of meanders straight for probably about 100 feet or so, and then it comes to a four-way intersection.
Now, I remember if we go right, that leads to that wall that shoots lasers, or whatever that beam of light was. If we go left, that leads to a storeroom.
I remember the beam of light in the storm. I don't know which was right and left, to be honest with you.
No, that's how it was. I never
You
forget.
probably
I
have
never
it
forget a tunnel.
underground, yeah.
The storeroom was... How big was that storeroom?
Not very.
10 by 10.
10 by 10?
Which one? Off to which
The
direction?
one that was off to the left. It was like with old weapons and stuff.
You kind of rack your brain. It's kind of hard to remember. It was dark, and even with your night vision, it was still dark. It was probably, it might have been 20 by 20.
All right.
It
Still
wasn't
hold some
small.
people in there if we need to.
Okay.
All right. All right, so we're going to go forward.
You continue forward. The ground starts to dip down, descending, and it's just like a precipitous, almost like you're kind of sliding as you're going, as you're moving your way down. It's a rough-hewn tunnel. It looks like they've cleared away some parts of it on either side of it. You get to one point and it kind of dips down and you can feel like water dripping down from above, and then it starts to turn left. Go about another. You've gone about another 100 to 150 feet, and it starts to turn to the left. And what are you using for light, Alderic?
I'll have a torch.
Okay, you have a torch, and do you give a torch to
Yeah, we might
Nicholas?
As well, might as well give him a torch,
He needs a torch.
Where exactly are we going, gentlemen?
Well, there's an exit all the way down this way that leads to the outside.
Oh, okay, very well. You continue. It bends to the left, and all of a sudden, it opens up into a huge cavern. This massive cavern, and you're kind of like walking along this raised edge of it, right there. We're gonna pause right there. Back with the rest of the group. You're back at the battle itself. It is daytime. It's probably by like midday right now. The Trebuchet is just pounding away at the center gatehouse. The guy in charge, what the heck was his name again? Klaus. Klaus sits there and says, "Move away from that gatehouse while they're pounding on it. I don't want anyone killed." And so he moves some troops off of it. They're ready to move back onto it if need be, but he just doesn't want them killed precipitously by being up on top of it. And they reposition some of them around just to kind of spread them out. But obviously they seem to be concentrating on that gatehouse itself. Mattias, where are you? You're muted, sir.
We can't hear you, Mattias.
Right, I keep forgetting to turn it back on.
No, I appreciate you doing that, though. Go ahead.
I'm currently still on the wall.
Okay.
So, am I understanding you're saying that the artillery is focusing on the gatehouse? Yes.
The Trebuchet seems to be. The two catapults are still firing at the main mess hall building, and the roof over there now looks like it's on the verge of collapsing from the second floor into the first floor. The main keep, which is where you were staying, they're still pounding rocks into it and throwing fireballs into it. The third floor is in flames, and it might collapse down into the second floor You're at a quick guess. You guys were staying down on the first floor, though. So what if you can see closest to you over here is the main keep, and then there's the gatehouse in this general area, and then over here is another part of the keep. They seem to be focusing their fire with the trebuchet on the gatehouse. The catapults seem to be focusing their fire on the keep itself, which is the large building to the western side, the northwestern side of the overall castle, and then also to the south side, the large common area, if you will.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you're up there with Werner. If Werner comes up...
I'm going to be... Matthias is currently looking at the various lines to see if there are any weak points in the enemy trenchworks or defense. Anything that could be exploited.
Roll an insight check straight up.
And that is a natural 20.
Natural 20. Wow. You're looking out there, and it just looks like a bleak situation. You see the large, wide open field, and the trenches, they're shallow at this point. The trenches are shallow, and it occurs to you, well, perhaps, just as one thought, and Reiner might come up with something else. You could sally out in the middle of the night and perhaps attack those in the trenches while they're trying to work on it, because they're obviously not working on them during the day. The likelihood of getting across 400-ish feet to the catapults and maybe 500 to 600 to the trebuchet is probably low, but it's a high risk. It's a high risk endeavor to do so. Possible, but a high risk endeavor to do so. That's one thing that comes to mind. So, you see that the trenches themselves are still shallow at this point. They haven't been fully dug out because obviously they're using the cover of darkness to do so, you realize to yourself. That's what comes quickly to mind. Unless Matthias thinks of something. It looks like you're frozen briefly. Okay, while you're frozen, we'll go back. What is Simon doing?
I think all I can do is watch right now. I don't think...
The afternoon starts... Yes, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You said that Werner was approaching?
Werner's there on the walls with you. He's standing behind a parapet. Did you manage to get some rest, Matthias?
A little, yes.
Good.
Werner, I noticed something. Something that we might be able to use if we wish to take a risk.
And what, pray tell, is that?
They aren't working on the trenches during the day, only at night. Potentially, we could organize a sally out, a night assault, to attack the workers who are digging the trenches before they're finished. And with a much greater risk, we could even send a party out while that is happening to attempt to disable the artillery. It would be a very dangerous mission, and what the likelihood of getting there would be slim, let alone succeeding and coming back. But it's something I noticed.
It sounds very dangerous, Matthias. Is that something you're willing to lead yourself?
Perhaps.
I think your sword is best served here, but if you think it's wise... I
do not know how best to proceed, Herr Werner. I'm simply offering my suggestions and the opportunities I see around me.
Yes. He ponders it. Anything else, Matthias?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry, Simon. What were?
I'm just gonna.
Okay, you're holding tight.
Yeah,
Down,
holding
with you
tight.
guys down in the depths underneath, you start to make your way around this huge, massive cavern. You can't even see across in the darkness with your night vision or with your torch. It's just, it kind of disappears down below. You hear scurrying around down below as well.
Our friend
then
is still here.
And then it kind of bends briefly to the left, to the right, and then back to the left, and then it goes to a very, very hard right, and then continues, and it's kind of undulating up and down and up and down and up and down, and eventually you come to this large plateau, probably about 60, 70 feet wide, maybe 15 to 20 feet deep, and there on either side are the wooden, like, large posts stuck into the side of this cliff, and ropes going out across a huge cavern that you can't even see to the other side. And you can recall having scurried across this rope once before.
All right. Could probably get.
We made it to the other side.
We did. We climbed down up and using the rope climbed up.
Yes, yes.
But if we're gonna bring people across, we have to figure some way of finding a way of either have them bring something down here to build across, or strengthen it with more ropes.
I am not an engineer.
But the exit's on the other side, and I think you're the only one who actually seen it. And the ropes, they're sturdy, right? I forget. They were thick and sturdy.
They seemed like it. I mean, you made your way, you shimmied your way across one, and I think you had like a rope attached to you or something like that. Tom doesn't remember exactly
like
what
that
you
we
did.
did.
But you shimmied your way across
Yes,
it.
I remember this, yes.
You kind of wrapped your legs around it, and then put your hand and
Yes,
kind of
yes.
pulled your way across in the darkness.
I suggest we do that again.
It was secure enough to.
It'd be slow bringing people over.
Yes, it's
at
not
least
tough.
for now. But
Maybe the mage could float people over.
he could, if he's got, if he's got the strength for it. All right.
Or a magic carpet.
Yeah.
Kill one, take one over. Kill one, take one over.
It's a zero-sum game.
Perfectly fine.
All right. How about we send you over first?
Okay, I'll go
Then
over.
we'll send Nicholas, and then I'll go last.
Okay. I'll start my way shimmying across the ropes.
Okay, so you reach up, you throw your legs around it, and you start to shimmy across. Give me an athletics or acrobatics check, please.
17.
A 17. You start to... Huh?
Yeah, no. With a plus 13.
You start to feel yourself letting go at that point. Your one hand lets go, and the leg, and you're still holding on. What are you doing?
How far across am I?
You feel like you've gone maybe 20 feet or so.
I'll just take a moment to reorient myself and try
Okay, you reach up and try and grab. Give me another athletics or acrobatics check.
28.
Okay, you managed to grab hold of it. You've got both hands on. You wrap both legs around, and you start to pull across. You kind of look back toward the shelf where you left Nicholas and Kartra, and you see the torch that Nicholas is holding. What are you using for light?
I'm gonna have to strike a new torch because I extinguished mine when I left.
So when you say you're going to strike, when you mean when you get to the
When I
other
get to the
side?
side, yeah.
Okay. So in the darkness, the rope is descending into the darkness, and you remember this, and you start to make your way across. Again, go ahead and give me another strength or athletics check, please.
Acrobatics.
Or acrobatics. I'm sorry. What did I say?
14.
A 14. You did everything you possibly could, and all of a sudden you accidentally let go. Ah! And you plummet down below.
Oh.
Remember me. Okay, William.
I have no idea what the guy's name was. I really don't.
Oh, maybe I should just use one of my inspirations to reroll.
Okay.
What's the fun in that?
What's the fun in not dying?
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. Just as you let you go, and some reason your other hand reaches up and grabs it, and you pull yourself back up on top of it again. So there you are. You're like pulling. Okay, go ahead and give me. You continue on. You're about. You feel like you're about 40 feet across now. Go ahead and roll another athletics or acrobatics check.
17.
17. You continue to pull your way across. It's utter darkness. You look back and you just see the flicker of the light from where you came. You can't see where you're going. You're just going blind at this point. Give me another strength or athletics check or acrobatics check.
Could I just send out sacred flames, not anywhere near them, but just kind of out, just have them illuminate the area for them just a little bit? It only goes out about 60 feet, but
I'm not sure if it would illuminate or freak him out, but you can try. Sure, why not? Go ahead for it.
I'm going to try to illuminate the area a little bit for you.
Okay. Give me a perception check, Aldrich.
The acrobatics was a 22, by the way.
22. Awesome.
And perception is 18.
18. You glance down and you see several things skittering around down below you.
Mice, maybe?
Yeah, there you go. Mice. Okay. Give me another athletics or acrobatics check.
Yeah, 16.
16. You're just barely holding it. Your hands are starting to burn at this point. They are just getting wickedly tired, but you manage to hold on. And give me another athletics or acrobatics check.
23.
23. You get to the other side, and here you are up near the post. You can feel another post behind you, but the ground is down behind you, to the right behind you, to the right and left rear. You're like this, and your legs are still out over the cavern, if you will. What are you going to do?
I'm going to lower my legs down and hold onto the rope above me.
Okay.
Try to find ground with my feet.
Okay, you're flailing around with your feet, and they're hanging down below you, and it's just like kicking into the darkness. You're pretty sure that the ledge is behind you.
Can I feel the pole?
Give me. You're gonna let go with one hand?
Do I feel like it on my head, like bouncing into my head or something?
Yeah, sure. You can feel it against your head.
Okay, yeah. As long as I can feel it at the back of my head, I'm gonna try to just let go of the rope, push myself, kind of throw myself back against the pole, assuming the pole is in the ground.
You're pretty sure it's in the ground.
I usually hope so.
Okay, you're gonna kind of. I mean, it's literally right near the edge there. But okay, and then you're gonna try and grab the pole or something.
I'm just gonna hope to fling myself in reverse.
Okay, give me a strength or acrobatics check, please.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You just manage, and you reach around and you grab this pole at the last second, and you're like holding on to it, and you pull yourself up onto this cliff on the other side, and you're there, and you're.
That was a workout.
It was a workout. You're on the other side. You rummage around in your pack, and you look for a torch.
Can I see across the chasm to them?
You can see in the distance Nicholas Bachman's light. It doesn't illuminate the space in between. Right. There's like a glow in the distance, and then it's just darkness, and then there's a glow at your side where your torch is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
it seems it's almost like a vestibular illusion, if you will. Have you ever heard of autokinesis, where if you stare at an object in the middle of the night and just by itself, it seems to move? Because it's just darkness around it. There's nothing else to give it a reference point. It's just this glowing orb of space out there in the middle of nowhere, if that makes sense.
I don't know if you guys are going to make that trunk climb.
Well, we're gonna have to put together a safety harness.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, while I'm at that portion of the cliff, can I... Is it just one rope? Is it two ropes together? Is it...
Okay, you're on the other side. You look, there are two ropes going across, but that's all there is. Like, there's two posts in the ground, and they're about 5 feet apart from each other, and the two ropes are about 5 feet apart from each other. Like, there was a bridge at one point, but the bridge is long since gone. These look like what were the handrail ropes, if you will, at one point.
I don't have the ingenuity to think about what I could do. You got anything on your side?
Well, I'm thinking we're gonna make some kind of like safety loop around it, so we can slide it this way as we go. If you happen to fall, you're not gonna fall too far.
Like a harness or something.
Like a harness.
Yeah, you would be more ingenuitive. You'd be able to.
So I would start working something out that, so we can at least, as you go, it'll kind of trail behind you. So if you let go, or you're not gonna fall to your death.
Sure.
I want to take a few torches and just like outline a perimeter around my immediate vicinity, so I have some light all around.
Okay, you do. It's another wide open platform. It's probably about 60 feet from right to left, perpendicular to the ropes going up to it, and then it goes into a tunnel that continues off that you went once through before.
Okay. So I wedged a couple of torches like into the rocks and
All right.
maybe 3 or 4 torches. It's like a semicircle around me.
So I'm gonna make that harness on that thing.
Okay.
So like I could tie it around Nicholas, around his, go around his shoulders and everything, tie it tight on him, and it'll trail behind. So as he's climbing this little circle here, we'll just keep going with him.
Okay, and how much slack is there if it?
I don't want to give it too much slack, so maybe like 5 feet at the most.
Okay.
So he'll just swing down, and then he's just got to pull himself up.
Okay.
And before I let him do it, I make sure to use a mending cantrip on the rope to make sure it's in pristine condition.
The rope that you're using, or the?
Yeah, the rope that we're using.
Okay.
I can't mend the whole entire.
No, that's what I was trying
But
to
the rope
figure
that
out
we're
how
using,
you
I want to
would-
make sure that it doesn't snap.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, let's hold that thought right there. Back with the. It's probably back at the other with the rest of the group. It's nightfall now. Anything you're doing, Zyman?
I will go down for another short rest, I suppose.
Okay, you go down for another short rest. It's going into night. Mattias, you're up on the roof. The night is falling. The relentless pounding continues. Are you up there still, or are you going down to rest, or what? You're muted, sir.
Yes, I'm still up there.
Okay, you're staying up there. The trebuchet is clearly concentrating its fire at the gatehouse. And it's just pounding away. That night, the catapults continue to fire away. Verna says to you, we need to get everyone out of the second floor of the keep. It looks like the roof is going to collapse into the first floor. Into the third floor is going to collapse into the second floor.
Very well. Should I assist?
Yes, if
Or
you'll
should I
help.
remain here and continue the watch?
You can see to the watch. I'll take care of it. I'll be right back then. He takes off. He's evacuating that portion of the building. You can see that it looks like, you just glance around, it looks like the other main building where the mess hall is on the first floor. It looks like the roof is about to collapse into the second floor of that building as well. The pummeling just continues to huge balls of flaming debris plummet onto into the ruins itself. And then you see that one floor collapse from the third floor down into the second floor behind you, up on top of this keep section of it. It just completely collapses. Eventually, you hear holes getting punched into the roof above the mess hall building itself. You're staying up on the roof, watching things. The night falls.
For now.
I'm sorry? Okay.
For now.
And it is night at this point up there on the roof. Back with you guys down inside. He tries to make his way across. And here he goes. One. No, he slips and falls the first 10 feet, or first 20 feet, rather. He slips and falls. He reaches up and he tries to grab hold of it again. And this time he manages to pull himself up and he starts making his way across. And he makes it again. He gets to 40 feet. And he's making his way across. He gets to 60 feet, and he slips and falls again. Carter, you can see him dangling down from the rope down below. He tries to pull himself back up, and he can't seem to pull himself up at this point. He fails, and he tries again, and he fails again. And he's natural one. He's trying, and all of a sudden, you can see it's just inside of that 60 feet. Something reaches up and grabs hold of his leg and starts to pull on him at this point.
Oh, crap. I'm going to... Within 60 feet?
Yes, he's right at 60 feet. Right at the edge.
Throw a sacred flame at it and see if I hit it.
Okay, roll away.
Oh, it's a dex save. No cover.
Dex save. Okay, dex save.
DC 17.
DC 17. It fails miserably. You see this one of the creatures that you had seen once before clawing away at him, trying to pull him down. Put that down at that large opening over there. Oh man. It's just clawing away at him, chewing, trying to grab hold of him and pull him down. And you definitely hit this thing. What happens to it?
Takes 16 points of radiant damage.
16 points of... It screams away, and then it goes ahead and bites at him. Oof. Yeah, oh my gosh, yes. It just does it terrible. He takes a lot.
Good thing we questioned him.
Huh?
You're stuck on the other side with this thing in the middle.
I'm out of here. See,
I'll see you guys outside. See you in France.
I'll get up with the cart.
Benelux? Benelux? Is that where we go? Benelux?
Au revoir.
Yeah.
You see, it just takes this huge gash out of him at that time, and all the leaps of flame go tearing up to him.
Archer never met one of those.
Yeah, you guys.
He just took a buttload of damage. You can see he's wincing in pain as he's just like getting shredded by this thing right there. Okay, it's initiative then. Roll a... bad guys have an 18.
You got an 8.
Okay.
25. If I can do anything.
Okay, so Aldrich, you are up if you can do anything. They're probably about... he is about, call it, 50 feet away from you.
Okay, well, about all I can do is the crossbow.
It's kind of hard. With disadvantage, you're shooting into the dark. It's just like, I mean, you can see some of the flames leaping around and so forth. But, okay.
13.
13. The crossbow, you can see it just kind of disappears into the darkness. Anything else?
Hang in there, Nicholas.
Okay, it's the bad guy's turn. The bad guy sits there, he goes ahead and he... amazingly missing it. It tries to bite. You see these arms flailing up at these tiny little arms. He's trying to bite
Okay, and it's Nicholas has a 4 on initiative. Karcher, you're up.
I'm going to try to hit it with a sacred flame again.
Okay, fire away.
No, it's just a deck save for you.
No, deck save, and he fails miserably.
13.
13 points of damage on top of the previous 16, 29 points of damage.
It is radiant.
Fire?
It's radiant damage.
It's fire damage?
No, it's
Radiant.
Oh, radiant damage.
It's
Okay,
radiant.
okay. Then he goes ahead. Bachman's going to take the disengage action and try and climb up, and he fails miserably with a 4. Okay, and it's back to the top of the round. Aldrich, you are up.
Crossbow again.
You fire away.
Hey, why don't you come with us?
A 9 and a 9, so a 9, 16.
16 doesn't. It disappears into the darkness again. Anything else, Aldrich?
I wish I was a bard.
Okay. It is the bad guy's turn. This creature from below. A miss and a hit, and it does the massive hit. Does a lot. 11.
He's still counting.
38 and 9.
That weight was making me nervous.
So he took 47 points of damage before, and he just took 50 more, and his body goes limp, hanging on this rope.
That's safe.
I think we just fed the creature.
Good job, guys.
Super.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
Take another shot.
Killed while he escaped, right?
Huh? You take another shot. Roll.
Oh, look at this. A 15 and a natural 20. So
Natural 20.
But I want disadvantage though, right?
Oh yes, disadvantage.
So 24.
A 24 hit. You see a little spark of flame come out of its body as you hit it.
Okay, so
It scowls.
These things are horrible.
So sneak attack is what now?
4d6, 5d6 for you.
5d6. 1, 2, 3. May I borrow 2?
Sure, go for it. Pick whichever ones you like.
5d6 plus the 7, 10, 15, 17, 22, 27.
27 points of damage?
Yes.
On top of your 29 before. It screams in pain. Ah! And then it reaches up and it grabs the rest of the carcass and pulls it down into the darkness.
Nicholas?
Both of you roll a perception check.
My man's not making that. Well, I got a 26.
A 26, and you?
24.
24, both of you very, very clearly hear scurrying on the walls on either side, coming generally towards your direction. Okay, back on the,
Maybe Nicholas coming back.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Back on the other side, night falls, the relentless pounding continues. Again, we talked about the roof collapsing, just the debris and chaos of the battle continues. Is everybody having a good time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for Nicholas.
Except for Nicholas.
He's
Well,
having a bad
I mean,
day.
it's just,
Nicholas.
I
isn't having a good time.
I was thinking of cheating, but I was like, no, let me just swear the dice rolled. So I was like,
Good thing we questioned it before.
Okay, everybody, going around the table. We'll start with you, Mattias. What was your highlight, sir?
Just getting to see everyone interacting for a decent amount of roleplay again, because that battle was so long. It took so many sessions that it kind of, this feels like a cool, like a build up to the next one.
Okay, fair enough. I thought we were going to get much farther ahead than this, but that's it's all good. But you guys did have a lot of role play, and that's why I was like kind of surprised. I kind of anticipated we go, well, I'm just resting. I'm just resting. I'm just resting. And then
forward.
And then it kind of forcing me to move forward. And then I was like, which is all good. I mean, you guys, it's not my story, it's your story. I do what the bad guys are going to do, and you do whatever you're going to do. So awesome stuff, Reiner. 1,000 experience points. Okay, Brian, if you're out there, 1,000 experience points somewhere. Dennis, what was your highlight?
Oh man, it was so many. It was just a lot of fun. The interacting, role playing with everybody, using the spyglass to blast, to see out there. I thought that was pretty.
That was very creative.
That just kind of hit me. I'm like, well, I can sort of see through a spy. Let me see what happens.
That's a very creative use of it. Yeah.
And also trying to convince Werner to open up the
and
tunnels
you did.
again. So, poor Nicholas.
Poor Nicholas. See what happens here with the two of you down there.
But you know what? Better him than me.
Pretty far apart from each other and something coming your way. Okay. Thank you for the hooks and the logs. You're still level 9, correct?
Yep.
2,500 experience points, sir.
I believe I leveled.
Ooh, huzzah! Where's the... Push the conch. A level 10 cleric. Awesome.
God help me.
Yeah, really.
So either roll your hit points now or roll them on the app.
I can roll them now.
Okay, and then take the higher of the roll or the average. And you can always use inspiration to re-roll.
I got a lot of inspiration.
Awesome. Joe, what was your highlight, if there was one?
Yeah, an 8.
Nice. That's fabulous.
Sweet.
Very sweet.
100 hit points.
Very cool.
On a selfish note, the highlight for me was finding out some intriguing possible backstory info. Don't know where this is going. Jokingly thinking about an evil twin, but we don't know about that yet. But definitely intrigued, and gonna dig more into that for sure. And it was a real honest highlight, and he's not here anymore. But when Brian was kind of like pushing me back to go back and talk to him and find out exactly what we wanted to do, because it was like my character was in between, trying to play it cool and being a little aloof about it. And he was like, no, let's go back and do it, whatever, So it was cool that he, and Dennis also, but both of them was like a good nudge that my character needed. So I like that too.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for the hooks and the logs. Awesome stuff. You're still level 9, correct?
Yes.
2,500 experience points, sir. Okay. Jess, what was your highlight?
I'd say another peek into the book and what it might hold in store in the future, and the Bachman Pinata.
The Bachman Pinata. The Bachman. Yeah, that
went so much better in my head than it really...
Yeah, go on. We'll bring you with us. Sure.
He had visible rolls, though.
He really did have bad rolls.
He did. I mean, it was a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1. I'm like, even with the dex, there was nothing he was going to do. And
we could have gotten some ransom money.
I gave him like 4 tries to re-grab the rope. And I'm like, at what point do I sit there and say, no?
And after my next short rest, I got a plan for that trebuchet.
Okay.
Good.
You got a level 10, correct?
Correct.
And thank you for the hooks and the logs.
Yep.
2,000 experience points. Just go around the table. Current hit points, Jess?
Still at 53.
53. Ryan's not here. Joe?
51.
51. Dennis? 100.
100.
Brian's not here, but I think he's at 48. Reiner, current hit points? Okay, well, while you're figuring that out. Okay, all good? I think it's 77, but just let me know for sure. You're muted at the...
No. Since I got my second short rest in, it's a 94.
94, understood. Awesome. And look up Cavalier, see if you get any short rest items back.
I will definitely.
Okay,
Thank you.
very, very cool. Guys, thank you for watching 7-Sided Dice Carpathian Adventure. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Again, we went a little bit over, as we often do here. Sorry about that. Again, we would like to thank Sirenscape for the use of their audio sound effects. That's www.syrinscape.com. I got to put that in there because I'm legally obliged to, but the thing shut down 3 times on me. So Sirenscape, do something about that. And we do pay for this. So yeah, come on, fix it.
Thank you, artist Yenu and Silky Noir, for the terrific character art. Please patronize them by the @Yenu Draws on Instagram, @Yenu on Tumblr and Twitter, and patronize Silky Noir on DeviantArt. Please comment in the Twitch chat room, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. While we do this strictly for fun, please let us know how we might improve the stream. Lastly, please follow us on Twitch, on Instagram, please like on Facebook, on YouTube, and please subscribe on YouTube. Listen, I kind of beat up on Sirenscape tonight. Sorry about that. It is awesome. I love the sound effects. I like those explosions in the background. It sounded like rocks hitting stuff. Normally, I would give you a little bit of diatribe at the end, and I actually have something written, but we ran a little bit later than I thought we were going to, so I'm going to hold off on that until next week. It also, until 2 weeks from now, it also saves me from having to write one extra piece there. By the way, the players, you guys are welcome to do the recap if you want, to earn extra experience points. I always throw that out there in the Discord. Nobody bites, but so you get my opinion if you don't bite. Always remember, in the Carpathian adventure, the journey is the destination, and we will continue the journey in 2 weeks. So for now, thank you for watching. Roll a 7-sided die, and have a good night.
Happy Halloween!
Ooh.